because you're in.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
Yeah. No, so what I was saying is, when you say integration, right now, we are integrated. So this park is integrated, right?
Yeah.
That, everyone can come here if they want.
Yeah.
They can do what they want.
Yeah.
Within integration, people are making choices to do cultural communication.
Yeah.
The way I say it is, what value do you see in this integrated culture, the mixing and talking of, what value do you see?
Knowledge. That's the only value.
Knowledge and the sense of how do I put it, man?
Understanding. There's knowledge. There's understanding, and also you have the. It's also like you're up in your threshold of being able to accept differences and different opinions without having a negative reaction to it, like society would expect you to have.
Where are you seeing this negative reaction? So if you're describing negative reaction,
Like certain people will have a debate, and that debate will turn into a fight, and that fight will turn into them never talking again or being in something seriously.
Right.
Whereas this is a controlled environment where many people with many opinions and many different religions and sides of the world can come together and express the differences that they believe are going on between each religion without it getting into physical altercation.
And because we see the general mass, we see that the general mass is in the same mindset. No one doesn't want to be the person to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and do this, and to make everything go left. You know what I mean? That's how I think personally.
Right,
Everyone.
So what is it that you would like to see happening more of?
Like for instance, different cultures being around each other more, being more receptive, because you've got certain cultures for whatever reason they don't mix with other cultures in the sense of that could be friendship, general conversation, general debates. I think everyone should do that with different cultures. It should be classified as normal. We got our parents that came from a time where it was segregation, and it's like for us to open up that bridge, open that up more. I think if we did that and we've done it in a more mass controlled level, our generation would be nothing like the older generation. It wouldn't even be that bad for the new generation coming up. But I feel that from our old generation, it's got passed down to us, and I feel that we've understood certain bits, we picked up certain bits, but we've gone through the same mistakes that the older generation went through, just in a different aspect, different timeline, different kind of community. You know what I mean?
So when people talk about integration,
Yeah.
as far as I can see,
Yeah.
we are integrated, as in like there's no direct laws.
Yeah.
Well, that are out that stop people from communicating.
Yeah.
So you come to this park, you can talk to anyone, right? So these laws are there, but despite that, people still are keeping to their own groups, right? I have no qualms with it because you have freedom to go where you want.
Yeah.
My issue is when you look at the different people groups, you have to understand what group do you represent.
Yeah.
If you represent, say, the black group or the African, Afro-Caribbean, African, whatever group it might be, right? If collectively you're not in a place where you're satisfied with, the question is, what do you need to do to improve? So for you, are you looking outside of that group you're in for betterment? Are you looking within that group for betterment? What do you do?
I'll be honest, I'm looking for both. So I take myself outside to look at the group, see what's going on, see what we're talking about, see how it can help, I guess, my thoughts on how I want to spread this out to more people. And then I'm looking inside because I'm in the group, I'm listening. So I have to look at it like when I go to other people, they're going to be looking at it from the outside. So I got to go from the outside to understand why they look at it from the outside. And now that I'm on the inside, I can find a way to rope them in on the inside as a person being on the inside. Because the first thing they're going to say is, how do you know? Have you been in? Yeah, I have been in there. I understand what you're saying, but I'm in this group.
Everyone's trying to get to that point.
You know when you look around, right?
Like
And people are in their own different groups talking about this. Are you seeing any other people talking how you're talking about trying to mix and integrate and stuff? Are you seeing that?
Say that again?
Are you seeing other people groups talking about this integration concept that you're saying? Like, so let's say you're part of the black group, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about let's reach out and that kind of stuff, right? Are you seeing other people groups do the same thing? Say it.
To some degree.
Well, so you've seen a European group or an Afghani group?
man joining the team.
Yeah.
Like for instance, we got there's a Muslim brother behind us over there, and he's talking to a white lady. But other groups that I've seen is most of their cultures together. I don't know what they're debating. They could be debating anything, but just things like that. You know?
So for me, there's one thing. Communication is one thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's actually action, like something you're actually doing.
Yeah.
We can communicate all day, but if we're not doing something that causes betterment, then we're talking for talking's sake, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And the challenge I push to black people is when we come together to discuss black issues, why do we need to focus on non-black people?
Because we are the ones that this is just my personal belief. From what I see, we're obviously in a country that we have limited powers. Singly, we have to be amongst the mass to have more power, because the people still have the powers. And I personally feel that where we're being segregated and oppressed, it's kind of like it's a bit hard for us.
So I don't think we're being segregated. As in, I think there is integration in England. And within that integration, people make choices. And it seems that black people are always looking to mix and bring people in, but it's happening in isolation. Meaning other culture groups don't necessarily behave that same way. So if that's the case, who's gonna have the least benefits out of the people groups?
Black people.
Thank you. So would the solution not be black people should then focus on self? Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. The reason why it's difficult to do that, we're black people, but it's difficult for us to think of ourselves because there's nothing there for us to think for ourselves, because we're already intertwined with so much other religions and so much other people's problems. We're already blamed for so much. So how can you focus on yourself when everything to do with ourselves is involved in everyone else?
And that's coming from, you see, a person that is in England. Obviously, we've gone through a school system that's been mixed, gone through a college system that's been mixed. Our general aspects is mixed. So it is a bit hard for us to just then be like, come on, my brother, let's go and do this together, stick together.
Like
because his life could be, you got black brothers that go with different cultures. You got some of them that will defend them to the end. How do we put that across?
What about things like adoption or people that are in children's home or stepmoms and step-parents? If your step-parents are white man and your black son and or whatever, how are you gonna say let's focus on ourselves but your stepdad's white? How are you gonna say let's focus on ourselves and I've been raised in a children's home that's run by white people and it's in a white area? So how do I focus on myself?
So are black people collectively in a good space?
Isn't it
Generally,
about...
no. Okay. I don't think that, but that's just my opinion.
Personal opinion. It's a personal opinion, but don't you think when we're concentrating on the black and we're finding it really hard to work, how do we concentrate? Because we're so integrated already. How do we concentrate on the black? Shouldn't we just concentrate on the poor and then we all get uplifted? And if we say we're going to go for knife crime, it automatically just helps black children anyway. Do you know what I mean? So shouldn't we just be, and when we say we want to help the black community, all the other poor people in the same kind of demographics as us, they might not be there to help us. So if we was to do it as one, I think maybe that would be the way forward.
And the one you're talking about is poor people.
Working class. Us at the bottom.
Has anyone ever seen a pattern that no matter what people group you're in, when those particular people group come together for a particular topic, theme, whatever it is, right? Now, when you look at the color dynamic, at the very top is the least melanated, and at the very bottom is the most melanated. Have you seen this consistency?
But that's been set
let's say. So if you want to talk about homosexuality, amongst homosexual group, you'll see the same thing with the top, the bottom, same gender loving, trans, same, working class, poor, rich, like Oprah's very rich, right? But when she walks to a shop and they didn't know who she was, they kick her out. So I'm saying there's a consistency. Now it's my understanding that black people have been psychologically trained, to help other people. And I say we are collectively the most pathetic group out, right? And what I want is I want black people to disprove me. But when you disprove me, I'll be happy. But so far, because if black people recognize we're in a condition and we recognize what's been done to us, but yet when we come together, we never mention black. We go, no black, poor, no black, gay, no black, hugs and kisses.
You know why that is?
I know why this is. Because we're collectively the most inferior group that's around.
But why are we the most inferior?
You have to demonstrate otherwise. Because we've come here with complaints about how we're low. We've agreed.
I'm not complaining.
No, you know what it is? It's like there is such thing as a drug addiction, right?
Yeah.
And it is negative for the most part, right? And if you ever try to cure drug addiction, what's the first thing they ask you to do? What's the first thing they ask you to do?
Admit it.
You start to go, my name's Bill, and I'm a drug addict.
Yeah.
Now, if black people want to stand up and go, you know what, my name's Abdullah, Mafundi, or whatever, and I'm doing great, my community is rich and everything, we're great, then he's practicing deception on himself. Yeah. So he has to admit, collectively, we're not doing good. Now, here's what it is, brother, right? Very few people, can actually success on their own. Yeah, you can do it, but you can only go so far. So what I'm saying is, how successful am I if I'm rich, and I might just be rich, but my brother's poor? My wife is not doing well. My mother is struggling. Yeah, my neighbor is having problems. Right? That's
going to be poor sooner or later.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying is there is a collective betterment. But black people, it seems that we have been trained to always talk about other people. So I say that black people are collectively the most inferior group. And when we admit that, we can do better.
But we have been trained for that.
Of course we have.
Because it's been whipped into us from our parents. Our parents have already put the fear of us into what could happen if we don't obey these laws of the Western world. What will happen to us? That is why we're the inferior group.
Just one question. How do you break that psyche? I always wanted to ask.
You have a code of conduct, right? See, now listen to what I've done. I've started the conversation by highlighting our shortcomings and for us to be realistic. Yeah. Now, when I start pushing forward solutions, it's gonna be easy for me to shut down kumbayarism. Because I suspect that when I start giving a solution, people go, hold on, you can't do that. Yeah. We've got to open up the carpet and have everyone come in and eat off our table. Yeah. And I say no. Yeah. Until we're in a good space, we can't help others, right? Yeah. We have to be black betterment, right? Yeah. We have to practice black betterment building, right? Meaning I'm a black person looking to help other black people on black issues because we need it. Because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? No one's going to do it.
Listen, we was only allowed to.
When you grew up,
it was an allowance.
All right.
These things are an allowances. We're allowed to appreciate ourselves to an extent that they find acceptable. So no matter how much you wanna, we wanna say, let's have this month. Bro, that month was allowed to us.
That's why we was only allowed it. If you want, though.
You can, but
you don't have to subscribe to that month if you don't want to.
What my point is,
I don't subscribe to it personally.
Society will not accept Black History Month unless it's Black History Month because of society making it like that.
It is, brother, right? You never need to focus on the opinions of a person outside of your group.
No, I'm not focused on it. So, for example, I'm just expressing
you know, every day is Black History Day with me because I'm part of networks that they're always giving Black history, right? Black betterment, a black network, and a black business is every day for me, right? When you see me, if I'm on camera, they know that's Raven. He's the black betterment builder. Everything he says is black. So when man's trying to take it somewhere else, I go, no, black, right? That's a code. I'm codified in my mind, isn't it? Yeah? And my goal is to train all of you to be the same.
Well, no, I don't want to be like that, though.
That's fine.
That's you knowing.
And that's good. No, hold on, bro. Let them remember. One at a time. Yeah, the brother said he doesn't want to be like that.
Can I explain why?
And you must
explain why.
Go ahead.
The reason why I don't want to be like that, and just say just black people, because the estate where I grew up, we was all poor together. Yeah. There was white people, there was black people, there was people from all kind of things, and we all had the same struggle. I had to go next door and get sugar off the white person, and the white person had to come next door to get sugar off me. So I feel like when I say just black people, obviously it comes as standard procedure that I want this knife crime and thing to I want to do something to make it better. If I can change one person's mind, it's a victory for me. Do you understand? But I feel like we're alienating ourselves as by saying, oh, well, for black people, we're going to do this, and for black people, we're going to do that. Can't we just do things for the community?
Right. So, brother, I respect that because in your heart, this is dedicated, concentrated kindness, right?
It's always, that's it.
And every black person I come across is the same, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's misguided.
Yeah.
It's misguided.
Okay.
And why I say it's misguided is because, brother, you could join a Black Betterment Collective, right, and have institutions set up to help black people, and still on Tuesday go to your neighbor and give them sugar. Still on Wednesday go to the Italian restaurant and buy pizza. Yeah.
It's separation, though, man.
No separation, because every other people group has institutions and dedication to their own needs, right? Except for black people, because we're collectively inferior. And the way you talk demonstrates that, right? Because other people groups do it all the time, right? But because of how we've been so integrated and trained mentally to be subservient, every time we try to fix issues, so it's not to say like
it's not on colour though. It's not on colour. It's not like they have the white betterment thing and they have it's like on religion or something like the Sikhs or can we? Do you know what I mean?
Okay. people
Not colour, race,
okay.
maybe.
African ancestry. There you go. For you, African ancestry.
Yeah.
See, because colour is just a metaphor.
Yeah, I don't like the cut. I don't like
Okay, that's
the
fine.
African ancestry.
There
Sounds
you go.
better.
Yeah,
that
I
sounds
understand.
better
But
to
remember,
me.
we've been compromised. So what happens is one day that's going to offend people. That's what it is. It's a technology. So if we have to call ourselves teddy bears, we're teddy bears, right? Remember, it's about actually like realizing there's a goal. And one of the challenges we have as a community is we start fighting about names and titles and stuff, right? But no matter what happens, there is a need, yeah? And we have to go for that need, yeah? So you can join any group, yeah, and put up institutions dedicated to betterment and still give sugar to your neighbor. Yeah. No one's saying you should mistreat your neighbor because they have less melanin than you. Do you know what I mean? Now here's the problem, right? Every other people group knows this, except for black people, or African ancestry people, yeah, or teddy bears, yeah? We don't know it. That's why every time we come together, we're going to talk about, well, we need to help everyone. Yeah? Now, these brothers have seen me, right, for years. And every time, you might be new here, brother, every time I come up, same thing, innit? That means systematically we've been trained to not look after ourselves. Yeah? By osmosis. So my job is to
I try to look after everyone
you've demonstrated,
around me.
brother. You've demonstrated, brother, innit? Yeah? You've demonstrated. Now, Jewish people. They look out for Jewish people, right? Because they understand that there was a collective effort to destroy who? Jewish people. Has there been a collective effort to destroy black people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many a time.
Many a time, right?
You agree with that,
Yeah.
Black man?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Therefore, meaning, if Jewish people, and then you meet Jewish people with a nice smile, everything, all the jokes and all that kind of thing, yeah? So, if they can do it, and it's a high five, why can't you do it, and it's a high five?
No, I just believe that you can do it, but when we say we're just doing it for black, it just sounds like it's just separatist to
Brother,
me.
there's Jewish banks by themselves. There's Muslim banks by themselves. You get it?
I don't
All
agree
these
with it,
banks
though.
that we're in
Okay.
England this is what I'm saying, we're in England, but these banks that are being run, they wasn't really for
We
us.
are in England,
We've just been accepted
Why are
and
we in
allowed
England,
to
bro?
go.
We are
there.
in-
Why are we in England?
we are
bro?
in England.
Why are we in England, brother?
Huh?
Why are we here?
We're here because the Windrush, innit, I suppose, or whatever.
Well, why would
the
people come
Windrush.
here? Why would they come here? Why do they
coming
go
from the
to
Caribbean, innit?
Yeah, but why? Why not go to, say,
They
Peru?
want to make some money in that, innit?
But
It's a better life.
Why is the money here, bro?
Because the money's here. This is
But
where it
wait,
is.
again-
I'm not saying how it. Listen,
Again,
I agree with you how
I know
it got
you do,
here.
and that's why I'm willing to be collective.
Listen.
Go ahead.
I agree with you how it got there. The British Empire
Yes.
done loads of horrible,
Right.
evil things in the
Right.
past that some of them would say is were their heroes. I understand it was their heroes and it was our demons.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's get that out there.
You said that.
One person's hero is another person's demon, and one person's demon is another person's hero.
Yeah.
So I've got mixed heritage. So
What does that mean, bro?
I've got mixed heritage.
What does
I've
that
got
mean?
heritage from Africa, Caribbean,
Right.
England.
Right. Okay.
Mixed heritage.
Right, okay.
That's how I define myself.
I see.
That's how I define myself.
So you're mixed.
I've got mixed heritage, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I look black, just like
Now,
whatever.
if you walk, okay. If you walk into a room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see your father beating your mother, beating. Yeah. Do you jump in and add top to your mother, or do you stop your father? What do you do?
try to protect my mother.
Why? Because she's most vulnerable.
Yes.
So, so you're from
It's the right thing to do.
Right thing to do. You're from mixed heritage, right?
Yeah.
Name me one of those heritages. Name me one. The people group. Go on.
African.
One. Name me another one. Go on.
Trinidadian,
Name another
Caribbean.
one. No, another one.
English.
English. Okay. Now, when those two people come together, which one historically has been doing the dominating, and which one has been dominated? Of the two, mother and father. Now, go
English has done dominating.
ahead. Okay. And who's been dominating?
Black people have been dominated.
Mother Africa, yeah.
Mother Africa has been dominated.
Because you're mixed heritage. You've got father Europe.
ain't afraid
and
to
Mother
say that.
Africa, yeah. Right. So, bro,
I'm for the truth.
Why are you thumping Mother Africa down there?
I'm not thumping
why are you
Mother
thumping
Africa. I love Mother Africa.
Right.
Just think that there's loads of
How
things.
do you demonstrate? Because right now, Mother Africa's on the floor trying to unite to get back up, and you're coming talking about kumbayarism, right? And I'm
I don't know what kumbayarism is.
Kumbayarism is where basically, when you're trying to fix something, everyone's talking about hug this, hug that. We're saying, no, let's just try to get up, right? Right now, what energy are you putting towards the collective betterment of Mama Africa coming up to actually have something, rather than blows in the face?
Right. As of right now, I
now.
have done absolutely nothing
Good.
apart from voice my
Kumbayarism.
opinion. No, apart from voice my opinion.
About kumbayarism.
No, I don't know what. I still you think of kumbayarism.
That's brother. Yeah, but that's what it actually is.
No, that's your.
You know what it is, brother. You got it.
Yeah, that's yours.
It's an analogy.
Now,
You're trying to lose me.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go with it, right? Kumbayarism is a good thing, right? Meaning, if everyone was good, the best thing we can do is hug and kiss everyone, give them a rock cake, give them a vegan hot dog, whatever, right? Because everyone loves it. In a perfect world.
Yeah.
Brother, are we in a perfect world?
Idealistically, no, we're not.
Brother, we're in a perfect
No, we're
right.
not.
We're in an imperfect world, right?
I aspire for a perfect world, though.
Of course, yes. But not on the backs of the collective African, black, whatever
Not on the
people.
backs of anybody.
Thank you, right? But right now, who needs the most help, as you just demonstrated?
Black. I wouldn't say black people. I say poor people.
Yes, but then is it
Poor people.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
But then what I'm saying is that there is a system in place, yeah, that makes it that many black people just so happen to be poor.
No, but you can change it though, especially in
Yes,
England.
and that's what we're trying to do here. But
This is probably the best country to change it.
maybe so. But what I'm saying is, how's it going to happen?
It's an example to other countries.
Maybe, but if you are not going to unite with other brothers,
Of course, I mean, what do you think I'm here talking for?
But what I'm saying is, if it's, when we try to get the ball rolling, and you start talking about kumbayarism, a nice word, but it's just a bit early. Then
For
it's-
you.
Well, I'm saying that what do black people collectively own?
What do black people collectively own?
What do we own?
Well,
What resource? What do we do? What do we do that you
I
have
suppose
to go
that in Africa there's a lot of people that own quite a lot. There's a lot of rich Africans in Africa.
There's
There's only one bit of land that isn't owned by a white man in Africa.
I didn't say. I just said there's a lot of rich people in Africa.
Yeah, but they're only rich because of succumbing to certain
what
laws that were put to
institutes?
them.
What things do we have that
Maybe so.
Like can you go to can you go to a certain place and then you know there's a guaranteed job or there's infrastructure there that's looking out for your
I
needs?
have to build my own.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say your own, other people groups have developed this, but black people for some reason, maybe because of kumbayarism, are not doing.
No,
it.
not because of kumbayarism.
Is it not?
No, shall I tell you why? Because
Go ahead.
I'm not blaming anything on anyone
Who
and
said-
anything.
Oh, hold on.
I'm not blaming.
You're not?
Yeah, I'm not saying.
But
Listen,
remember,
let me speak.
today-
You let me speak,
Yeah,
and then
but-
you're cutting me off.
Well,
Let me
I'll-
just speak for 1
say your
second.
point, say your point.
You nearly made me forget. Right. I'm not blaming anybody for my shortcomings, yeah? Alright? I'm not blaming saying I'm being oppressed or anything, yeah? Anything that I'm not gonna come. I understand that the system, yeah? I understand that the system is not perfect, yeah. I understand that the system's not perfect, but I also understand that I can do anything that I choose to do. Do you understand that? I believe that.
Right.
Do you understand?
Now, when in this conversation was I talking about blaming anyone?
I talked about. I don't feel like I'm being. You're was talking about.
I wasn't.
Stuff.
I was talking about black people. I know. That's why
You're saying that was at the bottom and whatever.
Right. What I'm saying is collectively, right? And that's why, yes, and that's why
Yeah,
collectively,
I'll probably agree with you.
and that's why collectively we have to come together to fix it. I've said nothing about anyone else.
Alright, to collectively come
when I
together
talk
to
about
fix
black issues or African issues, people bring other issues in it, right? Other people. That's my
Alright,
training.
I understand your angle. I understand
Yeah?
your angle.
So
I
what I'm saying
understand
is,
your angle.
we are demonstrating that today. I don't need to mention any other people
Right.
because I know that you guys
Could
know.
I say right now? Could I make another point? That's
No,
going to
sir.
be a really good point. Could you do it your way and I do it my way, and it's both, and it helps the black community and the community as one going up. So isn't both of us doing two good things a different way? Good for the community.
Put it like this, yeah? If we're rowing a boat now, and we're both supposed to be going like this, but you're going like this, and I'm going like this, where's the boat going?
And the boat's going in circles.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
I believe
would
that's
you
a good
agree with that analogy? Yeah.
But I have an analogy above that, and that's a great analogy. We can end on that analogy, but I can above that. And right now, it comes down to who can do, right?
I agree with
That's the best
So
one.
for me, you could do anything. Tomorrow, you could dance on your head. You could do whatever. I'm gonna go for the elite. People don't like me using that word.
Who's
but
the elite?
This. I'm looking for any black person who wants to help black issues, and I'm defining them as the elite because they've openly confessed.
Why elite?
They have to be the elite because they've earned that title.
Why?
Because black people are collectively inferior. So in order to get them into a place where they can actually work on equal stuff, right? Yeah, hold on. For a second. Because black people are collectively inferior.
So you're saying black people are elite?
You need to look for people who want change to step forward.
I know we said elite.
Yeah, to become the elite. And what did the elite do? The elite create institutions and stuff. So by osmosis, black people benefit. Does that make sense? By benefit. You see what I'm saying?
I don't agree with it.
Meaning, you bought this, right? and you bought it because it was an option, right? You speak English because it was by osmosis you were taught it, right?
Yeah.
The elite are going to be making things automatically that you just go into.
That's what we do when we build our own businesses. We build it for our children to be able to come in and get a job, whether they deserve it or not.
The elite are going to do that. Now the question is, are you the elite?
No, but what I'm saying
not,
is,
so
are you only building a gang of black elite people?
No. So it's like this, right? Before you came to the park, brother, I used to give like the symbols. So we want equality for every single person, right? But if black people are here and say others are here, what do we have to do?
We have to move on.
Now watch this. I give this guy 5%. I give myself 5%. 5%. Not cool, right? But if I give myself 50, then we're now on an equal plane.
I don't care what he's got.
No, brother.
I don't care what he's got. I'll build my own. That's how I feel.
If you recognise that other people groups are thriving better,
I'm not watching his pockets.
No, it's not about watching his pockets. It's about understanding you're not doing good, so you have to have a frame of reference. So it's like, what is good? How is that managed?
Listen, that's all in the eyes of the what's good and what's successful is in the eyes of that individual person.
Right.
Like someone could have been working in Tesco's for 25 years, and to him it's the best job in the world, and he's really happy doing what he's doing. Who am I to say that person's a failure?
Right. So for me, we would live and let live. If a black person is like, I'm content with Tesco, I don't want to join any group to make anything better for black people, then it will be live and let live. He will not be part of the elite. He will be part of the everyday come and go osmosis crowd.
Can the white people join?
Join what?
The elite.
So, if you have a black betterment building group that is for black people, serving black people, black issues, there's no need, there's no room.
So if there was like just like a Chinese elite in the thing, like couldn't they be like that's like almost like the triads or something when you're saying, "Raw, we want to be we're the Chinese and we're elite to everybody else."
Now, what does elite mean? What does elite mean? We're talking about
better than the other people.
No,
I would assume.
We're worse than other people. So black people are worse than other people. There you go.
What's elite? Elite.
So what you're saying is you need people in the group, right, who are dedicated on a context, right? Dedicated, like we're going to be dedicated on helping black people, black issues. Thus, we will be known as the elite. There you go. Okay,
I just think that's the wrong way to...
no, it's the right way.
Alright, listen, when you describe those people that are making things better for black people, you describing those people as the elite,
The elite,
sounds separatist.
No, it's inclusive.
It sounds mad. It doesn't sound inclusive at all.
Do you know why? Because a separatist is like saying that within the black community you can't join. The only thing you have to do to become part of the elite is confess that you want to help black people on black issues and you're going to be dedicated to it. That's it. Then you're part of the elite. But you can't do it. You can't do it.
What do you mean?
Then you can't do it. It's too hard. It's too hard. And that's why there has to be elite.
Listen,
am I wrong?
I understand. No, see, what you're trying to do here, you're trying to separate my goals and aspirations and put them in order.
Yes.
For me, personally, I'm not... What's closest to my heart is knife crime, because I was a young black boy in that area, so that's what's closest to my heart. But what's really close to my heart as well, is bringing people that are not used to each other. Together, and that's the only way that we're going to combat this thing called racism in this country. Do you understand? Because that's where my children, that's the most important thing to me. My children growing up in this country, they're going to have to face what we put out in the world now. Do you understand? And the narrative what we're painting for everybody else, whether you feel we're oppressed or anyone.
Who's most naive on racism? Black people or white people? Who's most naive on it?
Just naive people.
So
there's naive white people and there's naive black people.
As a collective group standpoint, which group is more naive on it?
It's stereotyping when you do that.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely stereotyping when you say as a collective. You're stereotyping a whole race of white people and a whole race of black people.
Right. And you see no value in people who share common interests coming together to try to find solutions.
No, I do.
Okay, so
I'll be a fool.
I'm not gonna call you a fool, bro.
Yeah, I'll say that myself.
I won't call you a fool. But what I would say is, if what binds us together is the black experience, wherever that might be, then there needs to be a solution based on black people coming together to work on the black experience.
I don't know what the black experience is.
Well, you're not. But then, like I said, you wouldn't be in that elite group, then, would you? You'll be in the
I'm not trying to sign up. Yeah, I'm not trying to sign up to the elite group. What I'm trying to sign up to is helping people with knife crime, bringing this country together.
Right.
And whether I'm in the elite group or not.
And what actions has to happen for that to happen? What has to happen for them to come?
We need to go and talk to the children, because those people that are those youngers that are growing up in a city environment. Some of them are all different kinds of races, creeds, colours, predominantly black. What's going on inner city, black on black, knife crime.
So the training I do is, we have a bubble in our head of knowledge, right? Of understanding. Your bubble is in a certain world, and it makes sense to you. My bubble is in a certain makes sense to me, right?
Totally agree.
And we have to understand what we see that works, doesn't work, innit?
Yeah.
Through my constant training and movement and understanding, it is very necessary for black people to be dedicated to fix black issues, and for us to conduct codes of conduct where black people dedicate time to make sure they're constantly working on black issues, right? Okay. Now, you might not be part of that, but my job is I do things in things.
I want to do that and other things as well. I'm not just going to solely put myself down to thingy. I want to help with knife crime any way that I can. If you're doing some kind of march or something and I can attend, not as an elite, whatever it might be, whatever it might be. You might be doing an art exhibition for all I know. Whatever it might be, I will attend, not as the elite, as just a supporter for what you're trying to do, because it's in the right direction.
You could do that, yeah. But what I'm saying is, I
would do that.
I said at the beginning of the conversation, right, that you could join betterment groups and do activities for black people and still give your neighbour sugar and go to the Italian restaurant and eat pizza. It's not exclusive. It's just, right now, if you don't confess that you want to be dedicated to helping black people, the chances are you'll do absolutely nothing for them. Facts.
You're not in my shoes, man.
No, this is not to you directly.
Yeah. But when you say that, and it's not to me directly, when you say that, it's like I have to conform to your way of doing things. And if I don't agree with your way of doing things, then I'm most probably going to fail.
No. So you wouldn't be a concern. Does that make sense?
It's not a concern. I'm trying to help.
No. But what I'm saying is,
I'm trying to be a concern.
You as an individual entity wouldn't be in your actions towards black people. Wouldn't be a concern for us. The only concern would be trying to create a situation where you better. So you wouldn't be part of the process, but you would be part of the solution. Or you would benefit from the solution. Does that make sense? So when
I'm not interested in benefiting myself personally.
No, of course not. What I'm saying is this, right? If I talk to people who talk like you, my job is to ignore them
that's fine.
And create a situation where they benefit without them knowing.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. That we differentiate on approach to the problem, but we both recognise the same problem, and we got different ways of doing it. Simple and plain.
And that's why I'm forming an elite.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, and in order to join the elite, you have to confess that you're a black person who wants to help black people on black issues, because you recognise that there's a collective issue going on, and collectively we're in a very compromised position. All right. And I'm training people that when they see kind brother, because this brother's a kind brother.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
He is a kind brother. But unfortunately, it's like, you know in ice hockey, do you know ice hockey?
Yeah.
They have certain members where their job is to just fight people. But a kind brother can't do that, innit? Do you know what I mean, right? So there have to be another role for that person. Right now, in the thing we're doing, there's no role for them. But there's no role.
I understand.
But the goal is that to create a situation where you learn and you benefit from the things we're doing.
And this is what I wanted to say as well. There's no role for me in what you're doing,
Absolutely not.
Right, now in what I'm doing, I hope to build up the community in a way that benefits you as well. Do you understand that?
I'm sure
you get those same kind of benefits, what I'm going to get, and we're going to be both moving in the same direction, separately.
Now, I agree with that. Now, the only thing I'll do to benefit this, right, is one thing we have to do, we have to have something that's tangible, and we have to have something that can be measured. As we're both progressing in our journeys, you have to then demonstrate how what you've done has benefited whatever people you're saying. And I need to be able to demonstrate that. You see?
Evidence.
I
totally agree.
So what happens when people come up to it, when they go, you see that Raven guy? He was doing this thing, and that benefited me this way. I'm part of the thing that he's doing here, I'm benefiting this way, yeah? And you have to be the same.
I totally agree. Held to a standard.
There you go.
Totally agree.
And that's what it is, yeah?
Yeah. Totally agree.
So the other thing I can say is I appreciate your kindness.
I appreciate
your kindness, and I appreciate black people's kindness because so many black people are like you. And in one dimension, it's a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, there's many things that are good, but it works against
All right,
people.
let me say, all right, you know black people are so welcoming, we're like, we
Yes.
will trust anyone.
Very true.
Rare.
Very true.
How do you think English people feel in this country, where it's the most easiest country to come in and integrate? Don't they feel like how you would say the country's behaved in the same way as in opening up all the borders? Don't you think that the EU, innit, anyone from Europe can come in? Or you're better off coming to this country than going to any other country in the world. Obviously. Yeah, standard procedure. That's you understand.
Right.
Don't you feel like the people that are indigenous to this country, not me, so I'm not indigenous to this country, the people that are indigenous to this country get pissed off when you come and say, oh, we're the most welcoming people, we're the most this people, we're the most that people, when you're in their country being welcomed in Speaker's Corner and being able to say whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
That's a good point. To separate yourself from
Ain't they welcoming?
So
they're welcoming, innit?
right. So we have
welcoming.
We have to establish what's really going on. When you say
separate yourself from them as well.
when you say separate, right? What we're saying is there is a separation going on. That is the reason why black people are in a certain condition. So you have to come together with black people to work on it because people outside that ain't gonna do it. If people recognize you come together as a form of separation, that's their downfall, isn't it? Right? Because the separation happened that allowed black people to be there. Yeah? But if black people come together to work on issues, it's not going to stop you from shopping in an English shop, buying a kebab, or doing anything, is it? Yeah? So what I'm saying is, the attitude that the brother gave here shows he's in a level of confusion. The way you demonstrate, the way you talk about social level of confusion. And these levels of confusion, black people have to carry on our back. Because we have to have the stigma of actually we're being separatists and all this kind of individual stuff, when in fact we are the victims of separation and we're trying to fix ourselves so we're on an equal playing ground.
I'm saying continue doing what you're doing. And if it helps the children, I applaud you.
Yes.
I'm on your side. Do you understand?
It has been demonstrated that when people groups come together, this happens. Yeah, and then you see benefits, right? When you come together and you work on inward issues, you will always see progress. You will always see it.
Yeah.
It's been demonstrated by Jews, by Asians, by Indians, by whoever, right?
Yeah.
So it's a tried and tested theory, right? So now the idea is, how do you put in action? The reason we can't put in action is because not only are there black people like you who say what you're saying from a kind angle, but you get gentlemen like this guy.
What do you mean? What you can't stop knife crime because of gentlemen like me?
You see,
Or stop what? I don't know.
You're saying knife crime. Have I ever said knife crime?
What am I stopping you
Have
from
I ever said knife crime?
No. I just didn't understand because you said gentlemen like me. I'm stopping you from. I didn't get what you said before.
Let me demonstrate.
Yeah.
I was talking about black people come together.
Yeah.
This guy said segregation, separate yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then you said a similar thing, right? Like, everyone in together and that kind of stuff. Kumbaya is my describing, right? Right? But I'm saying the fact that there is a tarnish on black people coming together to talk on black issues is the problem. And the fact that the leading voice in that is a black brother or black brothers or sisters, then obviously that shows that we are collectively inferior. Now I have to say that word, because if I don't say collectively inferior, then everyone believes they're on equal ground. I gave you the diagram before, innit? The diagram.
You're putting black people down, man.
No.
Kind of,
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's like this, right?
It's wrong.
Like collectively inferior. I ain't inferior like that, bro.
Too much generalising.
We are
You just
collectively.
you put generalising black. I feel strong, bro.
Bruv,
Like, for real.
You will need to demonstrate your strength in comparison to other strength. You see, if you're
how would I go about doing that?
brother, if you're a drug addict, the first thing you have to say is, brother, I'm a drug addict and I want help, innit? Yeah. If you don't say that, then you're gonna say, I'm not a drug
agree
addict.
with
I'm a party guy. Brother, I
agree
can handle it. It's a part of my bloodstream, right?
Yeah, I agree with
but
that.
if you actually admit
You're
it,
saying that I'm weak.
not you.
When I'm no.
Not you.
Exactly. But you're
said-
saying collective. You're speaking for a lot of black people that think that they're strong.
You individually are the strongest black man here. We can aspire to be like you. You're the strongest, but collectively, you're not like United Film. You're not. So individually, you're the strongest black man here. But how good?
Thank you.
How good is a king on a chessboard when he's the only one? How good is he? Ain't got no
he's only
pawns,
got one
no
move
bishops,
each way.
yeah?
He's only got one
move.
move each way.
And the opposition queen is going to come straight through and check him, right?
True.
So I'm saying that you are the king. You know what I
not
mean?
the king.
But you ain't got no pawns, you ain't got no bishop, you ain't got no knight.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. I understand that. Yeah. And I understand that maybe it seems like I'm standing on my own, like, and I haven't got no pawns or I haven't got no bishops and stuff like that.
Right.
But maybe I'll get some pawns and bishops and that
When you
one
get,
day
bro,
soon.
when you come to me, let me see them, yeah? When you can demonstrate that the behavior patterns you're doing
Yeah,
is benefiting black people,
yeah.
come and show me.
Yeah. No, and that's my ambition
But
to
I
do
will
that. If
demonstrate-
it doesn't, at least I tried.
Today, I will demonstrate to you that there's progress in
I applaud you for it.
collective betterment.
I do nothing but applaud you for it, bro.
Remember,
I ain't trying to knock you down.
I am an elitist, and the only way you can
Yeah,
be
I don't
elitist-
agree with that.
Well,
I don't
you
agree with
should-
that dialogue.
And here's how it is.
sounds very
Well, no, because I use strong words. Here's how it is. All a black person has to do is say, I want to help black people on black issues, and they too become elitists. That's it. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to have super science in your head. You just have to be willing.
No,
you could be the poorest
comes
or
as
the richest.
that comes as automatic to
Show
me.
me the
Yeah?
automatic then.
No, listen,
Show
it
me.
comes as
Demonstrate.
automatic to me. Yeah.
Demonstrate.
But you see your language.
Yes.
Your language is very. So it's obvious I want to help black people in the community,
Right.
but I want to help poor people in the community as well. It's obvious that.
When I say sugar, what do you think of?
What do you mean? The person next door.
No, yeah. So every time I tell you sugar, remember that you can help black people and still give your neighbor sugar.
I'm trying to help black people.
Okay, well then,
Yeah, I'm trying to help black people.
Right.
Yeah, as well.
Okay.
Trying to help everyone.
I'm trying to do a couple things at once. You know what I mean? I'm not going to separate and just say I'm just going to be dedicated to this. And there's a whole community
no
out
one
there.
says you have to be singly dedicated, but the thing is, if you do not confess you want to help black people, the chances are that you ain't helping them at all.
Who made that up?
Whoa.
Who exactly? That's
That's a matter accusation,
I made it.
You see when you say things like that, like, it's a strong. That's a strong thing to say. That if you don't confess, say it again.
He could be helping black people.
If you do
more
not
than you,
confess, and this is within yourself, right? If you don't confess to yourself and outwardly, that you want to be dedicated to helping black people, right? The chances are,
Singly, just doing that.
if you do not confess to yourself, you won't be helping anybody.
I just want to help humanity
Here's what it is,
still.
right? In the system, you will always automatically help other people.
No,
Why
I
do
wanna-
say-
I wanna help
Let-
humanity, man.
Let me demonstrate. If black people don't have their economic game up, right, that means we're not going to own no business or shops, right?
Get your money up.
Hold on, bro. Let's be tangible, not supernatural.
No,
right?
it is too-
Hold
that's
on.
tangible to me.
Let me say it, then you say it, right?
It's real.
So if your uncle and aunties don't own a shop, that means when you get peckish, where you going to go? You're going to go to other community shop, right?
You've got to get 3 jobs and then get a shop.
If your uncles don't actually own any
Or do something.
any businesses, you can't get jobs, right? So that means by osmosis,
you can.
Hold on. But I'm just let me say that. By osmosis, when you go and you exist, you will always be supporting other community groups. That's why you have to confess that you want to help black people. And once you confess, that means when I'm looking to do something, I'm looking for a black man to help out, because I know that if I just walk down the street and walk into any shop on this high road, I guarantee you, black people make no money from it.
All right, listen, shall I tell you something? It's all about, entrepreneurship. And you can start a business on eBay with £500, bro. Like, you don't need a lot of money, and it's about making...
When you demonstrate
it's
that,
about,
let me know.
I do it already.
I
Passive income.
Good.
Do you know what passive income is?
Yeah.
Well then, so you make multiple streams.
Like publishing, right?
No, passive
Like
income.
publishing, right?
No.
Like publishing the music
Passive,
and stuff, right?
no.
As in you don't get it when it comes in.
Yeah.
I
You
know
go
about
to
that.
sleep.
No, I know about that. So,
Exactly,
yes,
but the people don't. A lot of the youths don't.
Well, after we talk, you can help them with that. But
Yeah,
what I'm saying is
that's
this,
what I'm trying to help them on.
Oh, good.
Those are the kind of things
Well-
I'm trying to. So when they make money
Right.
with passive income,
Right.
without having to go to work, they go to work 9 to 5 every day, but they're making money at the same time with passive income. They try and build their passive income to match their normal income, and then maybe they could stop working. Do you know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of things that I'm trying to tell the youths. Instead of when they're going to school, in public school, they're just being taught how to be a worker. You're trying to be a worker.
I agree.
You're going to get those. If you say a teacher says to you, what are you going to do when you're older? And you say, I want to be a dustman, miss. She's going to say, well done, black van man. You're going to be the best dustman ever. When they go to private school, they learn how to be bosses, innit? Simple and plain. It's different between public school and private school. I want to edify the youths how to be bosses out here, how to make passive income. Like, the sky's the limit, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Simple and plain.
Right. And no one should stop you on doing that. And if you specialize in passive income, then you should
I
teach.
specialize in passive income.
Okay, well then you can do that. But that doesn't stop the overall goal of what I'm saying here. And the overall goal is that there needs to be a code of conduct and black people come together for black solution stuff.
No, you're just
He
making
doesn't see it that way.
you're making
He doesn't see it
the
that
poor person who's mixed race. Just imagine if he's mixed race, he's half white and half black. Can he qualify? He qualifies. Okay, so what if he's only 1/4 black? Does he qualify? Do you know what I mean? I don't think it should be on colour. To be honest with you,
It's on people groups that's affected
how do
by
you
history.
how do you say what there's there's thousands of different kind of black people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's thousands of different kind of white people.
I will know about that, but yeah, cool.
I know we should learn them maybe, innit? There's white people that never had nothing to do with any kind of the oppression or anything
Not
that
my
you see.
concern currently. It's
Okay,
like
I
this.
understand,
You
I
can't-
understand, I
it's like
understand.
this. If you have limited resources, you can't spread it so thin. You have to fix yourself against fix other people.
I agree.
It's like this, right? Look, I've tried it. Walk around, pretend that there's no color, there's no race, there's no history, whatever it is, and everyone loves everyone. What happens? I gave you the thing at the beginning. Whenever people come together, for some reason, at the bottom of every single kind of feed, you have the highly melanated person and the lowly melanated person at the top. So whether it's homosexuality,
Change it then.
a working class.
Change it then. Let's change it.
Thank you. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
but,
well,
but what I'm saying,
That's what I'm doing it with my attitude.
Yes, and when you can demonstrate that, let me know so we can jump in.
No, I've
But
already,
until
I've
then-
already demonstrated it because I
what?
don't see it. Like it's not a problem to me.
Right.
I'm talking
So
about
from what you're
is
doing,
the
black
problem?
people are prospering.
Alright, listen, no. If enough youths
Yeah.
listen to what I've got to say,
Yes.
yeah, I believe that they will be prosperous.
Look at the
still.
camera and give them the inside scoop there. Go ahead.
inside scoop?
Go, let them know, because you have to go.
All right, the inside scoop, yeah, the inside scoop to knife crime.
Okay.
Inside scoop to anything else. Let's put it all out there.
You said that you
the
have a way
inside
to-
scoop to knife crime. Let's go with knife crime first.
Go ahead.
Inside to scoop to knife crime is that you need to have more community centres where we can all go to and do something and learn about businesses and entrepreneurship and stuff like that, and
Who's gonna run
learn.
Who's going to run them?
Huh?
Who's going to run them?
Well, people like you, I thought, innit? Ain't you gonna be a?
So you're talking about organisations,
So it's for
right?
everybody though. It's not just for black people though. It's for everybody.
Right. So it's like this, right?
It's for everybody.
When you find people doing harmful stuff to each other, right? There's a history behind it, right? And there's certain solutions that might actually be cultural based. Meaning, funny enough, teaching a black child about black history, yeah, will have
What's
a.
that got to do with moving forward?
I'm going to explain to you, right? That one of the reasons why many black children will stab another brother is because they see no value in them. Yeah, in fact, they see them as an enemy. Yeah.
No, they see them as an enemy.
Yeah.
Not no value. They don't see no value in themselves either.
Thank you. And the reason I see no value because they haven't been
You jump
trained.
into conclusions though when you're saying the reason why because everyone's an individual.
Brother, I'm
They've got
giving you.
different reasons why.
What I'm saying is, in order to have a solution, we have to pinpoint what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people might have knife crime because they think they're an alien. I can't deal with them at the moment. I can't deal with the masses who have low self-esteem,
Yeah, yeah,
who have
yeah.
no self-worth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I agree with that.
There has to be a strategy of how to give self-worth.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to understand we're in a system, and the system indirectly or directly contributes to not having self-worth. Therefore, meaning if you're a young black brother and you
I don't
never
really
see,
agree with that.
go on, let me
carry
say
on,
what you
though.
say, right? If you don't see yourself in any form of contributing roles or powerful situations or anything of any value, then obviously you're going to be easily led astray, innit? Because you have low self-esteem, right? So the goal is to on the upbringing, make sure those brothers are known about the history, known about that who've done good, know that they're worth something and their efforts are part of a collective betterment, right? There's a place for them, right? So if I'm saying, if I'm a young European kid and I live here, right, I turn on the TV, there's enough of the TV to tell me, you know what? There's opportunities for you, right? There's leader roles, and this, that, because the TV will bombard you with that, right? Historically, yeah? What I'm saying is, people of African descent, not so much, especially in this diaspora. Here,
You watch the same telly as a white man. You watch the same television that the white man's watching. So you got the same opportunities.
What does that mean? Explain what that means to the camera.
When you watch television and you see the opportunities that are afforded to white people in this country, those same opportunities are afforded to black people and mixed race people and whatever. You can come from anywhere and you can still do those
So what
same
I'm saying
things.
is, if you do not see yourself as greatness, if you don't see people who look like you doing great stuff, right, and you've been...
I do.
Not you, because you're the king, remember? You're on
I'm
the
not the
board.
king, I'm not the king.
Well,
You're the strongest though.
You're the strongest.
You lot are saying that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What I'm saying is the others, yeah, they're not seeing how you're seeing it, right? Therefore, meaning, all right, we need to come together to create the things they need to see. So we need to own the movie situation.
Yeah, I agree
and
with
make a positive contribution.
That's
Positive
what
books.
I've been saying from the beginning,
Thank you.
though.
But what I'm saying is, when you talk about Kumbayazi, right, And I'm saying, look, if black boys need to see, let me give you a story, right? So black boys need to see a black, say, king, right? So let's make a film about Tahaka, a Mansa Musa, someone. Just because for some reason black people don't see black kings. Let's say that's important, right? Now, I come together.
It's important for a black kid to see a black kid.
Do I not see it's important for black people? It wasn't
For a
important
black
for
child
me.
to see a
It wasn't important for me when I was a child to see
And then
black
you turned out
people.
great, right?
No, not really.
Okay, well then we want you to turn out great. So here's
No,
what
but I want the children. I want the children to turn out great.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have, so you
And
want them
I've
to,
got a
right?
plan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's experiment with our plans, right? So what I'm saying is, we come together, right? Now, because we have a.
You don't know me.
Oh, let's stand.
He doesn't know me, so he doesn't know if I got a plan. He's saying something stupid. I'm having a really good dialogue with you, and you're like, you don't have a plan. You don't have a
We
plan.
asked you last week, that's what.
I know. This week, look. You see this? You see this? This week. You see this week? I bought notes this time. I made notes on knife crime, and I made notes about things that I would do. So this week I've got a plan. Last week I didn't have a plan. This week I got a plan.
You made notes on knife
But you're
crime.
on what I would do in because I was talking to about 4 people at the same time. Yeah. So it was a bit like I'm talking to you, then I'm talking to you, then I'm talking to you.
Great challenge,
So you was hitting me with things from the side. So when you was hitting me things from the side, it was quite hard for me to concentrate on what you were saying. So last night I made sure I made a few notes just about knife crime and a few things that I would do just quickly. Said what I would do. I said one of the
Shall I
things
finish
already.
what I'm saying? Shall I finish what I'm saying? Then you can talk about
going
knife crime, brother. Shall I finish what I'm saying so you can talk about knife crime? So what I'm saying, when you practice kumbayarism, we've come together as a movie
I don't
company.
like that term of
Okay,
kumbaya.
celebratism, goodness,
That's a weird one.
happy, joy. Whatever you want to hear, I'll say it. Yeah, whatever makes you feel good.
You sound good.
Yeah, you sound good. So when we
you
practice,
sound good.
sound good. Yeah, when we practice that, what happens is, next thing you know, you want to make a film about Tahaka, Mansa Musa. There's a person who's not from Africa. Whatever. Like, well, hold on, why do we have to do that? Let's make a film about King Henry VIII. Now there's a big debate about what the film's going to be about.
Make your film, man. I'm on your side to make your film. I'm sick of seeing roots.
Bro, I'm trying. This
I'm
is
sick of
this is a
seeing
made-up
roots.
story. It doesn't exist. And what I'm saying is, I'm trying to show you the problem with kumbayarism is when everyone joins in, everyone has to have a say. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah?
confuse me with that kumbayarism. Like, I want people to come together. You call that kumbayarism. It's a good thing.
Sugar.
People coming together.
Sugar. What do you think?
It's a good thing when
Sugar.
people come
What do you
together.
think? When I say sugar, what do you think? You can help your black brother and still give your neighbour sugar. That's
To
it.
help everybody, and that includes black
Yeah,
people
remember,
as well. Same thing.
If you do not confess,
Just a bit
remember,
better.
I'm going to demonstrate. If you do not confess, people at home, that you want to help black
That's
people,
your
black
own
issues.
philosophy.
Let me finish.
I
then you can
don't
jump
agree
in.
with it.
I know, and let's see how we progress. Yeah. If you don't confess, you will do nothing. Yeah, I swear, it's been demonstrated. If you do not openly confess that you want to
You
help your
sound like if
community,
I don't agree with your
not
philosophy,
you, because
you're
you're not part of
condemning
it.
everybody.
You're not part of it.
Yeah. And then you sound like,
You don't have
if
to-
you don't agree with your point of view and your way, like confess. If you keep on saying
No.
this word of confess,
No.
can I
No.
finish? You keep on saying this word. If you don't confess, then your shit is not gonna work.
No.
Blah 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 blah.
That's what I'm
Who
saying.
gave you that
What I'm
authority,
saying-
mate? Nothing ain't worked
what
so
I'm saying-
far.
I didn't say
Whatever
that.
you done ain't
Never said
worked
that.
so far.
Never said that. Never said that, right?
Kids are killing each other more and more every
Right.
year, mate. Every day.
Right.
In London.
Remember what I said about
I'm
bubbles?
concerned
Remember what I said
about
bubbles? We all have our own bubble, right? And in that bubble is our own level of knowledge, innit? Now, right now,
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to you about progress. And every time we try to get somewhere, you keep telling it back to the beginning. Yeah?
Okay.
That might be a condition of your bubble. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? So what I'm saying is,
So smart,
So
innit?
there's something wrong with you then.
if that works for you and you demonstrate it, then I can say nothing, innit?
Yeah.
But what I can do is go with the elite group, right? Yeah?
You're
And
not elite to me.
It doesn't matter.
You're
Yeah.
only elite to yourself.
This is these
and separatists.
What does separatist mean to you? What does it mean to you?
How you come across
Right.
is separatist.
What if I told you I love? What if I told you I love non-black people more than black people? Would that be better?
No, I'm just saying
What
your
would you-
dialogue.
What would I
I'm just
say?
saying your dialogue comes across.
What would you say if I said on paper?
You might not be
On
separatist,
paper,
but what you're saying
I have
comes
done more.
across.
On paper, I have done more for non-black people than black people. But I'd still be separatist.
I'll just say that you've done more for people. You
Hold
don't
on.
have to keep on putting black and this.
Right. By
keep
not
on putting colour in.
identifying
Just
the
do
group
nice
you're
for
trying,
people.
by not identifying the group you're trying to help, you help nobody.
That's not true.
That's very true.
By not identifying the people that you are.
You have to
trying
identify. You know what? I recognise that these people here live in these conditions, need this kind of help.
help. I can help someone. I don't
Yeah.
need to
But what I'm saying,
identify.
you are in your own bubble. and
I am in my own bubble.
Exactly. And what will have to happen is, if you progress, then I will make notes and I will try to copy your bubble. Right now, I'm not seeing no progress.
True. I ain't done no research on you, so I don't know if there's anything in your bubble for me to take on. But if you've got
ask about me.
Yeah. If there's
You
anything
can come to Speaker's
positive,
Corner.
if there's anything,
Ask any person what is Rap Raving about, right?
Did ask last week.
if I find anything about your in your bubble that I can draw from and use it going forward, because it's both the same thing, then I'll take it from. I'll take the constructive.
And there's
I'll take the
anything
constructive out.
There's anything you're doing, that is constructive and works, I'll implement. But you have to demonstrate that.
Of course, by evidence, of course.
And right now,
like this, right now is right now. Next week might be a different thing. The week after might be a different thing, and you might be like, "Raw, you done great things."
Yeah.
You might commend me,
And what I'm saying is,
or you might.
fortunately or unfortunately for you, brother, there is a wheel already moving, and it's already moving there, right? And people are doing stuff.
Congratulations.
You're welcome to stand by the sideline, join. It's up to you, right?
I'll say silent.
Of course. Yeah.
But I congratulate you on your will moving forward,
what I'm saying.
and I hope it moves forward and it helps as many kids in the community as possible.
Yeah, and so do I. Yeah. Well, like I said, moving forward. Remember what I said. So the lesson I'm trying to push forward today, that if you are from the black community and you genuinely want to help black people, one of the starting points is you have to confess it to yourself. Because if you don't confess to yourself, what happens is it's going to go everywhere. Yeah, and you won't have any kind of direction, and other people will benefit, right? And this is by osmosis.
Who's the other people?
You got non-black people. Sorry, bro, you've been shouting from the silence and I haven't been able to get you in. Is there something you want to say?
I still agree with your bare forcing your views upon him, innit? The guy's entitled to his views, bro. He said he wants to help people, let him help people, innit?
Right, so
at least he's doing a good thing for the
So the camera can point that the non-black person is
bro,
supporting.
you're gonna say
That's separatist. Yeah, I'm not really dealing with that, man.
Remember,
that's dead.
So remember,
That's racist.
Remember, let us demonstrate.
Hasn't he got a valid point?
Let us demonstrate. Let's demonstrate.
Because he's not black. Yeah, exactly.
Let's demonstrate, right? Yeah.
Bro, if the non-Muslim needs it more than a Muslim, of course I'll help them.
Right. Now today, well, we let him talk. What I told you, right,
come on, man,
is
stop with
I've
this
already
whole-
demonstrated
that's a closed
that you
question.
can help. You can be dedicated to helping people groups, but still give your neighbour sugar, right? That should be a wrap. Now, if that doesn't enter the bubble, if that can't enter your
automatic
bubble,
for
then
me
I
to
can
help
do
black
that for
people.
you.
Automatic.
Yeah.
It's automatic.
Yeah, well, you have to demonstrate that, innit? Because it's like this, yeah? By the way I speak...
I don't have to demonstrate it to you, I have to demonstrate
Let me
to the
speak.
children.
By the way I speak now and my actions, black people will come to me on betterment, right? Because they go, that Raven, he's consistent and he's demonstrating.
Yeah,
Meaning
I'm going to
that
go to
on-
the kids that don't go to
I'm
you.
sure. On black issues, I should go to
The
him.
ones that won't even
Yeah.
bother. So when I was younger, I would never even go to someone like you.
Well, that's because the community failed you.
No, that's your opinion, maybe.
Automatically. Yeah. Because you don't recognise any black constructive movement. You don't recognise it.
I didn't say
We
it.
failed
No,
you.
you said that.
We have
no.
failed you as a
I'm
community.
just saying when I was younger, I
There's
wouldn't have
always
went into
losses, there's
someone
always
like you.
losses, and you
Because
are
you
our
talk
failure.
too much about black and you don't talk about just the poor.
The poor.
Yeah, the poor.
So what I'm saying is you have your predetermined. So it's like if we're not talking about that, then there can
No,
be nothing, right?
I'm all for you helping, but it's your dialogue in the way how you get it across
Has black
just sounds
people-
separate.
hold on,
All this
Frank.
elite talk
Hold
and
on, yeah.
you're not part of the elite and stuff
That's
like
right,
that.
right.
If a white person started saying that you're not part of the elite and that you'd be crying.
Why do you keep on talking about Europeans and white
You
people
were saying elite.
when we talk about black betterment? Why?
You're talking about elite like
Well,
you're
the-
elite
the
over
question
somebody
has been
else.
pushed forward, bro.
You're not elite to nobody.
Okay, what does elite mean? Explain to the camera.
You're not elite to
What
nobody.
does elite mean to the camera? Explain it, because we're gonna
I
learn.
can't bother to get
See,
involved
one thing-
in your
brother,
semantics, bro.
It's not semantics. Right now,
Can't be
you are
bothered.
in your bubble. I'm constantly
Aren't
Aren't we all?
demonstrating.
Ain't we all in our bubble?
Now, brother-
Aren't you in your bubble?
Here's what I'm gonna say to you.
Are you
right?
in your bubble?
Yes. Now,
I'm in my bubble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now-
Are you in your bubble?
yes.
Exactly.
Now, here's
So
what
I
it is,
agree
right?
with you.
Now, here's what it is, right? I don't like lying. I like being as open as possible, right? From
I
the
don't like
first
lying
few
either.
lines, I never thought that someone like you would ever be in correlation with what I'm doing. But the conversation was valuable to me because I'm talking through you to the camera. Yeah? So that's important. It's important that we know that. So if people think that I'm trying to win you over, no.
It's not about winning
brother,
me over, it's just you.
I swear to everything that is good in this world. I never thought I could win you over.
Yeah, no, I didn't think
Never
that was
in
you.
the
I
world.
didn't think that was
but
your.
there is a value in talking to someone
yeah.
who's opposed to betterment, because that way
I'm
I
not
can teach
opposed to
black people.
betterment. I'm not
Black
opposed.
betterment, yeah,
I'm not opposed to black betterment. I just want betterment for the humankind that are downtrodden. All humankind
So do I.
that's downtrodden.
So do I.
If you believe that knife
What does
crime,
this mean?
if you believe,
What does this mean?
Listen, if you believe that knife,
What does
we'll
this
go
mean?
to that, and we'll go to your silly little analogy in
The
2
brother's
seconds.
going to explain the analogy that he thinks is silly, but he'll be explaining. So go ahead. Say your
Yeah.
point and then explain the silly
Forgotten.
analogy.
Go on, you silly
Brother, you
analogy.
need to learn on not forgetting things.
I know, man, because it's
Hopefully it'll come through in a bit, but now we're going to go back to
Yeah,
the
go on.
analogy, right?
Yeah,
What does this mean to you when I do this little symbol?
someone's down there and someone's up there.
Right, so we want the quality, yeah? What does the quality look
You're a
like?
pocket watcher.
Look like this, right?
I don't watch pockets like
What does that mean?
You're a pocket
Explain to the
watcher,
camera
bro.
what that means,
Stop
brother.
watching man's
Bro,
pockets.
explain what that means,
Saying
brother.
you got that much money and I got this much money down here.
Who
You're
said-
watching man's pockets.
Now, brother,
I don't do that.
When we said self-esteem, when we talk about self-esteem,
Well, you don't understand pocket watching.
brother.
Not
Yeah,
when
like,
you're
why
trying
are
to
you
help the
watching
kids
the next
learn how
man's pocket?
to accumulate
I am
more wealth.
trying. Yeah, I am. That is
So
exactly.
then obviously,
Listen,
he
I
was
said,
talking about money though, right?
listen, yeah, if you want to talk about money, I talked about empowering poor people to make them gain more money. Simple and plain. Passive income. That's what I was explaining.
money, yeah?
Yeah, you said you want
It's
to
money.
Right. Now, let's go back to the symbol diagram.
Yeah,
because the
you're
standpoint-
pocket watching. That's what we
pocket
call that in the
watching,
hood.
right? Now, when we were talking about self-esteem, how much money is self-esteem?
How much? You're watching the next man's. Get your self-esteem
How
up.
much is self-esteem, right?
Get
we're
your
saying
self-esteem up.
If we recognize, that self-esteem might be a contributing factor, that means we have to boost the self-esteem of the right? That's one theory. That's one factor. There might be economics, not a factor.
Yeah.
There might be health. That's not a factor.
agree
right?
with that.
It's holistic, isn't it, brother? It's holistic, right?
Just keep it
It's
simple
a
for
whole.
me, bro.
It's everything as a whole.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you might be focused on the money, but the need might be
No,
actually health.
it's not just the money. It's just the mind.
Yeah, the
it's
mind.
the mental.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not just the money.
Mentally helping black people stay focused
I feel
on
like
black
a lot of kids in the urban thingy, they don't see a way out apart from road life. We're talking about history. We're talking about so much. Yeah, bless. We're talking about so much history and stuff. Yeah. What we're not talking about, and one of the main things that are contributing to the things that are going on in the community is single parent families.
Yes, and
we've been talking for about how long? How long we've been chatting for?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yes.
We're not talking about fathers missing from in a thing, whether it's the father's fault or whether
Yes,
it's
I
the
think black
woman's fault.
men should marry
Those are
black women and look after the black children.
See
I
what I'm
agree.
saying, man? So what about, what's wrong with black people marrying white people and white people marrying black people? What's wrong with it?
So, as a person, you can marry who you want. Yeah, that's your issue, right? But if you say there has to be a strategy, and the strategy is how do we include the black community, right? We have to instill
We're
values.
separating it and making it hard because there's people that are mixed, bro.
they're
It's
welcome.
not just black
Well, they're
people.
welcome
You have to
in
go
the
to
black
Africa if you just want to help black people.
Not necessarily because you're a
Oh,
black person.
Africa's
Yeah.
mixed, bro. I'm from Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
Will you help me?
Cool.
I doubt it.
So what I'm saying is, when you recognize a problem, you have to have a holistic way of curing it, right? So I'm saying that if we want to fix the black community, right, we have to say that the black man has to value the black woman, right? Yeah, they have to love each other, and they have to value their kids, right? That's a starting point. That's like a template.
You're separating.
Template.
I'm just talking about the breakup in family. Forget colour.
You know why
Just
that
a
is?
breakup in the urban, we're in the inner city
You know what it
thingy.
is?
Whatever reason it
Government,
is.
the government has put in state that if a woman has a child, the
can get
government
benefits.
is going to look after you and you don't
All right,
need a man.
all right. Now listen.
That has
All
now
right. Listen.
basically-
Very good
Yes.
point. Let me just say one thing now. Then, is it the woman's fault or is it the man's fault? Is it the woman's fault for saying, you know what? I don't even need this man here no more. I can get my benefits. I can get all of this shit, and I'm gonna get more money if I'm not with
They get the
my man.
benefits regardless.
You're welcome to join.
All right. So why don't they just stay together then? Why don't they just stay together?
If they're known and stay together with the government, they get less money.
Yeah, exactly then, but so if
So
we,
therefore it's instated
right,
to
those
them
people
that,
in
right,
the
if I
urban
leave this
environment,
guy,
those people
I'm
in
automatically-
right, those people in the urban, those people in the
matter.
those people in the
If he's
urban
working, then
environment shouldn't split their family up for benefits. That's what I say. Don't split up your family for benefits. Don't split up your family for benefits. Trust me, it's not worth it.
But if she's not with
That's
him,
why kids are
she's
dying
gonna
on the
be fine
street.
by herself, and
Because
she doesn't
people,
even have to get off
that's
her
why
bus.
kids are dying on the street.
Okay, so
people are splitting up
should
their
we get some
family
structure?
for benefits.
Right. So the structure I'm
It's not
pushing
like
forward.
that, and it's not-
Hold on,
that's nothing to do with
hold on,
it.
brother. You
Aye,
cool?
it's the
Brother, should we get back to what I want this?
No, look, I've got free choice to do what I want. You can blame it on the government if you want, but
Right.
you all got free
No,
choice.
the government give too much, bro.
Right.
That's the question.
So the
That's
solution I'm
Possibly.
pushing
The
forward
government give
is
too
for
much.
black men
You're always a
to love
receiver,
black
though, innit?
women
There's a giver and a
look after black
receiver.
children.
Huh?
That's the solution I give you.
actually the
The templated solution is for black men to love black women and look after black children.
Yeah, I don't
and we
agree
have
with
to
that.
culturally make that valuable. So that
don't
we have
agree.
to undermine the concept of being of womanizing and not looking after women. We have to shun for single parents and stuff, and we have to put a value in fathers loving their wives and loving their
You
children.
got to stay together in a relationship. Simple. It
100%.
doesn't matter. So what's colour got to do with it?
Well, anytime you see me, brother, my institute.
It's very separatist what you're doing now.
No, it's not
When
separatist.
you could just
Remember,
say, instead of just
because-
saying black, you could just say everybody. And it
No,
helps.
no, I can't.
And you could
I
just go,
can't.
all right, listen,
No,
you could
can't.
say everybody and go into the black community and it's just helping black people. Because of your dialogue, a lot of people are not going to listen to what you're saying.
Lots of people are going to listen to what I'm saying, right? Because it's needed. So it's like
I'm
this,
black
right?
and I'm not listening.
Yes,
Well, I'm listening to what you're saying, but I
you're
don't
a
agree with
king.
it.
You're the only king on the board at the moment.
You
right?
playing a nice part.
You're the only king on the board at the moment, right?
Let's hope I can build a...
And when you demonstrate, I'll jump on that board. I'll be a pawn on your board, yeah? But
Huh?
until you can demonstrate, I won't be a pawn on your board.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
this,
If I demonstrate, you're going to be a pawn on the board.
Of course, if
Let's
you
hope so.
demonstrate a situation where black people are collectively bettering, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I have no choice, right? What I'm saying is, through observation, this tactic works, right? So if we say, what's wrong with the black community, we have to identify the black community. The black community is a black woman and a black man. So if we say that we value marriage, by logic, they're going to marry each other, right? If we're talking about the black community. But if you're talking about everyone, then how do we...
We're integrated, isn't it? It's not black people just don't marry black people all the time right now. We're not. It's not. It's done, but it's not.
Right.
It's not law. Or it's
Society,
not,
innit?
Yeah,
we're integrating into England.
Yeah, but I'm free from that. So what I'm saying is, whatever you wish to do is what you
You sound
do.
racist when you say things
Well,
like
I'm
that.
free from
still.
this. What I'm saying is...
You look like you don't even look fully black. I'm looking at your
Yeah.
hair and that. And you got Jericho in there or something.
But
I mean, you got something in you as well. Are you fully black?
He's got a North African in
every,
You don't want to answer that question.
That's me. So let's demonstrate. So it is, when you talk about Afro-Caribbean, right, you're talking about an experience. You're talking about black people from West and Central Africa being taken to the Caribbean and the Americas, gone through ordeal, and then today trying to work it out. And the legacy is what we're going through now, right? So you're going to get many different views and so forth, right? That's the natural. But what I'm saying is,
He's trying to
don't-
breed out of him.
yeah, I mean,
His wife is the darkest black woman you can find on the planet.
yeah. But it's like this, right? But
Trying to get the black back.
But hold on. Once you've recognised that experience, the question is, what do you do to rectify the issue, right? Do you come out of that experience and the first thing you do is not support the people who went through that ordeal? Remember I gave the analogy about the wife and the husband? Well, for me, when I see that the husband beating up the wife, I'm protecting the wife from the husband, right? That's my analogy.
Me too.
brother. Yeah? Okay, well, you need to demonstrate that.
Well, no, I'm just talking about a
Because
white
right now,
girl.
because in the interaction between Europeans and Africans, right now Africans need more work. So when I'm talking about the black community, I'm saying the black man, there's a value in marrying the black woman and looking after the black child. That just makes sense from a logic standpoint.
I'm just saying that there's-
But if you want to talk about marrying Europeans or Asians and so forth, that's got nothing to do with what I'm saying. So you have.
But if I marry a white woman,
So now do what
yeah,
I'm
no,
saying.
listen, exactly, this is the whole point. It's
Yeah.
separatist. Alright, listen, if I marry a white woman, is my child welcome into your thing? You said yes. So, like, you have to include. Can the white woman not come to your thing or whatever you're doing, your movement, not be a part of your movement, and she can't be a part of your movement? Well, you're just you're separating. The child can be a part, the dad can be a part, but the mum can't be a part.
I would implore you to Google me on content of everything.
I'm gonna.
And the reason I say is because everything you're saying,
Go.
and the brother knows this, has been said to me week to week, year to year.
Yeah,
month to
I
month,
could
right?
imagine.
Of course,
Yeah.
right? And what I'm saying is, it just doesn't work. Yeah, and because it
For
doesn't
you,
work.
you don't think it works.
Well, you have to show because we start conversations about black people.
I'm gonna try and do something different.
I hope you do. What I'm saying is we've identified that black people collectively could be doing much better, and we have to identify
100%.
strategies of how to do it. And sometimes we have to have templates.
Well, you're saying
So,
black on. There's so many relationships that are not black with the black. And then you're only catering to black with the black. You're missing a whole demographic
Not for
that are
me.
mixed.
It's not my speciality. I can't train a black man how to love a non-black woman. I don't have the skills for that. You have the skills for that, and you should write that book.
I've got the skills for loving all women.
I'm sure you do.
Don't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what colour they are or creed. I can fall in love with any woman just as long as she's a nice person.
Now, remember, black people, I'm talking through him to you.
Martin Luther King.
And you're going to see this consistent behavior.
Personality, character.
Now, brother.
Content and character.
Now, yeah, of course. Now, remember, there has to be a starting point. And the starting point is, if you want to fix the black community, you have to identify them, who is black. And if you say that there is a value in marriage, and you're talking about the black community, that means there is a value in black men looking after and marrying black women. That's just logic. Now, one of the problems that black people are collectively inferior to every other people group, as I see it, is because we don't understand that basic logic. No other people group will kick down the door and say, what if I want to marry other people? You see what I'm saying? So today, black people, they are demonstrating our collective inferiority. And what I'm doing is I'm forming an elite. So the goal of the elite is to work on the people who are finished, right, and cannot be a part of it, but by osmosis, they'll be benefited. So how you become part of the elite, right, is by openly admitting that you're a black person who is concerned for black people and you want to strive and be dedicated to find solutions for black people. Once you do that, you become part of the elite group of black men builders who are trying to actually work on solutions rather than sexy words, untangible kind of situations and loop conversation that actually doesn't mean anything. Because if a person doesn't actually say this and you ask them, what do you do for a black person? I guarantee they have nothing down. Try it at home. Go to a black person who's talking about kumbayaism and he wants to help everyone with this, and ask them, what have they done to benefit black people, right? Then give them the analogy, right? That if black people don't own anything...
I've done things personally to help black people,
sure you have.
But I've done things personally to help all people.
I'm sure you have. I'm tempered for that. But I'm saying this, by osmosis, if I wake up in the morning and I walk down the street, yeah, if black people don't have their act together, when I spend my money, yeah, I'm going to be spending it on a black institute, right? I'm going to shop that black people don't control, yeah? When I watch the TV, black people are not on the boards making those decisions,
Get your money
right?
up then and control it.
There we go. But you can't do that without institutions and actually organisations.
No, you can. You've got to show them how to do it,
No, you see, once again, what you're saying makes no sense.
Yeah, it does.
And it's, remember,
passive income, how don't that make sense?
Because, of course, I'm sure. Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
Have you got another camera over there? Content over everything?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Have you got something that's called passive? That's passively working for you, isn't it? Yeah, that's passively bringing you income, isn't it? What are you talking about, bro? I'm talking about giving these youths, showing these youths how to have businesses and build their own thing. Exactly what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah.
That's exactly what you're saying, though. You're talking about, we're going to go and spend our money in a shop that's not our own, and we're going to go and give our money to a thingy. So I want to show these youths how they can make money while they're going to work, and have money working for them, investing money and having a mentality to invest rather than consume all the time. Every minute you want to go and buy this and you want to go and buy that. With the money that you work for with your hands, you don't spend that money and consume shit. You invest that money. So then when you got loads of
black businesses, right?
Come on, man. Yeah, I have.
In black businesses.
I've had businesses. Yeah. So loads of things. It's not black business. I've had businesses on eBay. Like I sold loads of things. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So like
I've got experience in it. If you wanted to learn about selling things online and stuff, I could tell you loads of stuff, bruv. Yeah, that's what I do.
So, okay, well
that's what I want to teach you. See, you've got a problem with him because he's North African. I need to end this conversation still, you know, because I got to go, man. Are you coming back next week or are you coming back? I enjoyed the conversation for the record.
Anytime I'm here, you're always welcome. Anything I'm doing, you're welcome joining.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut it short or anything like that, anyway.
Anything I'm doing.
Do you want to make anything? I'm not just going to cut straight like that. Is there anything else? Give it 5 minutes or something if you wanted to say. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
I'm just saying this year that I have to reiterate that if black people don't openly confess they have black people, the chances are they never will.
Yeah, okay.
From my experience, it's what I'm saying.
All right, I disagree with that, but I respect it, and hopefully we will meet again in the future. And maybe I might have done some things, and maybe you have done some things. Thank you for having that chat with me. I really appreciate it. You too as well. Love, yeah?
Your time now. Come and give us a solution.
Wait, one sec.
Manifesto.
Solutions coming soon. Solutions coming soon. Black man, I'm
safe, bro.
He's saying you're a vessel. You're a vessel.
I'm trying to help, bro. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do good. Trying to do good, bro. Trying to do good.
Right. So like I said, what's been demonstrated is one of the challenges that black people face collectively, as in just actually knowing what we are trying to do and how to gain a form of improvement. It is an uphill struggle, but one of the things I push forward is to actually define an elite group. Now, once you have your elite group, it doesn't matter what other people do because you already have people who are dedicated to action as a form of solutions because they recognise there's challenges, right? So even though I was talking to the brother, and we have to respect the brother for coming out and speaking, right? As I told him, it's not behind his back. When I talk to brothers like this, I'm talking through them to the camera because he brings up good points that other people believe, and other because we believe it, we need to actually have these discussions, right?
That's what I'm saying. We want the diverse
Of course,
opinions.
we definitely do. We have to do, and we have to respect the brother coming out for saying it, right?
That's why I want Tiger to jump in. He got the most diverse opinions yet, bro.
Brother,
Kind of shy. Drag him in, man. Drag him.
Tiger, man.
He's violent. He's violent. He's violent. He had violence.
No violence.
Tiger has left a while ago. He has left.
Okay, so did you, brother?
Unless there's
I
another
didn't cut you off. Did you say you were going to say?
Oh, there's another Tiger. Okay.
But you had a lot to say when he was there, bro.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
First time coming.
I was just saying, yeah, that you're entitled to
Coming down there to have a little word
do
about
that. If you want to help black people, you're entitled to do that. But at the same time, you can't really force him.
So when I talk about elite groups,
what I'm saying.
I agree. Fine. So when I talk about elite groups, I'm saying that as a black person, there's many black people who work against black bearmen, right? And they've been co-opted and
Wait, work against.
Yeah, of course. I
So
understand.
China, like.
Either directly and indirectly, and that's fine. That's them, right?
But then
Consciously or
identify.
subconsciously.
Yeah,
But
right.
identify these people. Though. Who are these people? Who are they?
Well,
Where they're from? Like,
what I'm saying is, if when you're coming, if you recognise there's a black issue, and every time you come together, you're talking about other issues, right? And you're working against black men because you're diluting the topic, innit? Yeah. If you have a budget for one particular thing, and everyone comes in with their own agenda, and you can't focus that budget on the thing, especially when you have a limited budget. This is logic sense that most people understand, apart from black people. Now, what's most fascinating is when you look at other people groups, they understand this. And when black people talk, we have those other people groups who practice this, who throw in their 10-pence speech saying, no, kumbaya, love everyone, share the 10 pence for everyone, all this kind of stuff. And what I'm saying is, the solution for that is having an elite black group, right? Where those other black people do what they want, but once people confess, they become part of the elite, and then they become the focus point of actually trying to
are
work
you
a
telling me
solution.
this never happens?
What never happens?
The coming of different communities sharing the pens.
Very loosely.
I can give you the best example for this. I can give you the best example.
You're loving their attention.
What's the example?
The Muslim community.
What does that mean?
The Muslim community, they help everyone, regardless of background or race. They help everyone.
Yeah.
Like there's many Muslims who go to Africa and do charity in Africa, bro, for black people in Africa.
Yeah, so one of the problems we have to talk about is when this word charity is a problem because
Why?
charity is like a handout, and what I'm talking about is empowerment. So this concept of
You
giving
want
around a
people
fish
to
and
be
this kind of stuff.
empowered in this country.
No, I'm looking collectively.
That's not possible, bro. It's 80%.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, you might not know what's going on. So what I'm saying is, you need to talk to the people in your group who understand about like economic empowerment. Okay, well then I feel sorry for you.
I'm just a British citizen, bro. That's it.
Well,
I'm a British citizen, and you have a British citizen.
I'm sure.
Yeah, everyone else. That's the community I'm part of, bro.
You might be fortunate enough to not know about the group you're part of that's working towards your
No,
back.
I'm part of the Muslim community. as
Okay,
well.
so you've identified the group then. So
Yeah, but they come from many backgrounds.
yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if you find value in cleaning together for religious purposes, so be it. If Muslims as a collective are going through issues because they are Muslim, then you should try to work on that. But shame on me as a non-Muslim to try to stop that. And shame on anyone else when black people recognise there's something to do, who come in to try to stop it. Go,
No,
don't
I
be
don't
black.
agree with that.
Well,
I don't
shame on you.
charity to certain Muslim groups who are suffering
Right.
like around the world.
Right.
So stuff like Rohingya, like a lot of Muslims
Right.
got together and tried to support them. So that's happening. So Muslims do support each other.
Yeah, of course. I expect Muslims also to run it. But all I'm saying is, I've collectively, and I'm famous for this saying, I've identified the shortcomings of black people. We seem to be collectively inferior on these issues.
No, not inferior.
Yes, we are collectively inferior on these issues. And because of this reality, there needs to be an elite group that works on solutions.
You're inferior because of the colour of your skin. You're automatically inferior.
No one said that.
No, but why would you use the term inferior? Is a strong word.
It's a very strong word. It's a very strong
You
word.
can't say everyone in the black.
No one said that. Never said that. I never said it. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, racism.
I don't know why you're talking about racism. I'm talking about collectively, black people are in an inferior position. Individually,
In the UK.
in the world, globally, in the world, wherever you find them. Yeah. And if you don't admit that, then you ain't going to be able to work on betterment.
So what about famous people like Kanye West? Are they in an inferior position?
When I say collectively, you have to understand what I mean. A collective is like, for example, you're a Muslim, right? And you might be rich or poor, but because you're a Muslim and you love Islam, you will always try to help Muslims who are being oppressed or are going through a hard time because you understand the value of it and you understand that there is a language that works well amongst Muslims. Every people group who go through challenges have to recognize this reality. That's what I'm saying. But you're going to find a rich Muslim, a Saudi who's a Muslim. There's a rich Saudi who has oil. Do they speak for all the Muslims? Are they using their oil to help Muslims go through hard times? Probably not. So what I'm saying is you need to have that kind of reality in your head, that way of thinking.
So some
that are rich and some that are in Palestine and they're suffering. Doesn't mean like say DJ Khaled, whose example is Palestinian, doesn't mean all Palestinians are wealthy.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Now, if you're not dedicating to fixing, so for example, I'm not here to tell people how to spend their wealth. Do what you want, right? But if that brother you're talking about was from Palestine, yeah, then and he makes lots of money, has influence, then he can actually contribute and help Palestine, right? He should, because he's from there. It's no different from black community. That's why you need a philosophy, a code of conduct.
Muslim community is different. Muslim community doesn't recognize race. Muslim community is helping anyone.
You are prejudiced towards race. That's why. Do you understand? You are prejudiced towards the concept of race. Yeah.
How can you make that assumption?
Because you just said, I've said that there's a group to come out who have the same identity as the so-called race or lineage, right? Black people, right?
Black people have many lineages, bro.
Yes, but
black people don't only have one lineage.
Yes, but
there's black people from all parts of the world.
Yes, but what I'm saying is eventually they're from the same place, right? Yeah.
Which is what?
Like I said, I assume so, right? But what I'm saying is there's a particular experience, right? I'm saying that means there is a value need for them to do what they're doing. You don't value that need because you're not black, so you wouldn't value it. But you are Muslim.
But I'm from Africa.
Yeah, but whatever. But what I'm saying, you value Muslim and Islam, so you see the value in people from Islam come together to work on Islamic issues.
But there's black Muslims, you do know.
Yes, but what I'm saying is not all groups are going to be so black and white. So it's like there's going to be women, there's going to be transvestites, there's going to be rugby players, there's going to be cooks and chefs. Whatever group recognizes there needs to be betterment in that community, they're going to come together. Just because you don't value black people come together doesn't mean that it's not important.
I don't devalue it at all.
Well then,
if people want to come together and
what we do,
form a community,
we do.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem
So what's
with
the conversation about then?
No, I'm just saying how you were forcing it upon the guys.
I already demonstrated.
You said to him that he doesn't help black people.
No,
announce it.
No. I said I was talking through him to the camera.
Yeah.
I'm saying that as a social experiment, if a black person doesn't confess to help black people, the chances are they won't be doing anything because of by osmosis and living the system we live. It's just a
system
fact.
in the UK.
Any system, for the most part.
Yeah,
Yes.
but many systems are different.
Okay. For your benefit.
I can go to a
for
system.
your benefit, the UK.
I can go to
for your benefit.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. I can go to a system.
Good for you.
A system that won't benefit me as well. That's how it's like.
But I'm not
it's a human
I'm not
problem.
talking about you. I'm talking about black people.
No, okay, not just me.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about black people. Do you understand? It's like
at the end of the day,
if I'm talking
I
about
know
one-legged people, you can't come and talk to me about blind people. I'm talking about one-legged people. No, but blind people, but blind people need help too.
No, but it's disability.
But yes,
disability is for
there is a
everyone.
context and a reason that there is a value in working on one-legged people.
But they're all disabled though, and disability is one.
But this particular group specializes in one-legged people. That's what it is.
That's the same with humans. Humans all differ, but humans should be all together.
Right. So what I'm saying is.
Yeah.
It's like me going, why are you spreading dawah? Why don't you spread
I don't
equal?
spread dawah, by the way.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just saying.
what I should say to Muslims, don't spread dawah. Spread equality amongst all the faiths. Tell everyone to be all the faiths. That's making sense because you're dedicated to promoting that idea from your group.
You do know Islam teaches though. Islam allows other faiths to be dedicated to their
Yes, but I'm talking about the actual preaching.
You don't want to go down there, bro, because you're not going to have no argument, G, because at the end of the day, you're confusing. You're mixing up race with religion.
No.
Two different things.
What I'm saying is people have the right to demonstrate the groups they want to support for historical reasons. if black people never went through the experience they went through, there'll be no need to this conversation. There'll be no need. We could talk about hopping on one leg and singing Christmas songs.
No, but I understand black people. Yeah.
You don't understand because everything you say demonstrates you
I know
don't.
that black people have struggled.
Well,
Of course,
like I said-
and they still struggle today.
Okay, so
anyone that's ethnic minority.
So the
struggles.
people at home, if you can hear this, you understand that the brother's saying this, but yet there's always a but. And that's a challenge we face as a community. And that's why I try to train black people to ignore and actually be dedicated on black
Well, if you let me
issues.
just explain my
Go
point,
ahead.
then you'll understand.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to say that ethnic minorities struggle in places where they're a minority, and in this case, the UK, ethnic minorities are struggling, including black people. That's all I'm saying.
So the solution to black needs, from what I've observed, for most part differs from other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what you believe. That's fine.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm going to act upon what I see to be a tangible reality.
I have no issue.
No one even says you have issue or issue, but you're talking.
You said I devalue.
I'm talking to a black guy and you were on the side shouting stuff. So that's why you're talking now. At no point am I trying to make you do anything.
There's some things that I agree with what you said, and some things that I disagree with.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, but I know.
Like, you wasn't here 2 weeks ago.
Maybe.
Yeah? You wasn't here. No, I know you wasn't here.
Okay.
I think he was talking to him, respect him.
Right. Right.
And he was saying stuff about like big up the veterans and whatnot, as in the veterans in the UK. And I went up to him and I disagreed with him. I told him, what do you mean big up the veterans in the UK? Veterans are the people that went and killed 1 million people in Iraq. The same like he was talking about the World War I and World War II veterans.
Right.
I told him these World War I or World War II so-called veterans, they're the ones who got people from Africa and employed them forcibly to take part in their own issues. So it's just like
So let me give you. So
I've disagreed with some things that he said as well.
That's fine. I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm saying this, right?
I'm not.
Every example you give me, I can tell you what influences my decision, right? So if you want to talk about World War I, World War II, and so forth,
They were talking about.
Well, you said that, so I'm going to say it, yeah? The reason why black people need to actually work on black issues and come together for these reasons is like, for example, when England was fighting Germany in the World War, there were black people on England's side.
100%.
Right?
100%.
And in the First World War, the British people said, we don't want you to have guns because it's wrong for a black person to shoot a white person, right?
Yeah.
Now, when they captured the Germans, they had to give up their space on the trains and in the mess halls to the captured Germans while the blacks had to go elsewhere. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that even though black people are fighting on this kind of thing, there's a dedicated need of why they need to be self-induced, inward-looking, and focused on self. And that's the thing. So everything you talk about, there's a black equivalent. And so the World War is the first thing. There are black people, kumbaya, fighting in England, but yet they weren't allowed to shoot at the Germans because they both were white. And then when they caught the Germans, they had to give up their seats on the train journey home, and in mess halls and so forth.
Yeah. They were highly mistreated, bro. Of course.
But what I'm saying is, this reality is the necessity of why the things I'm preaching is being preached, literally. And that's why I train black people to ignore non-black people in these issues. That's why I treat you the way I treat you. So in Speaker's Corner,
man, you can't judge me based on my ethnicity.
It's not about judging. It's about I've said something that comes with a history, and if what you're doing is diluting that and mudding that up, then there's no value in your contribution. It doesn't matter. There's no value in your contribution.
Bro, did I not say it? First World War and Second World War, black people were forced into the militaries. And I said, why are they forcing people that have nothing got to do with the conflict? I just said it right now, bro.
Right, once again.
And you do know Algerians were forced by the French to take part against the Germans as well.
You should go and try to help Algerians. If you feel that Algerians are being mistreated,
I don't have to go help Algerians.
Like I said,
why?
It's like this.
It's not my obligation, bro.
Right, so remember I'm talking to people at home. So if I as a black person see that black people need assistance, I'm going to help them out, right?
No problem.
If you don't want to help Algerians,
that's me,
you're in
innit?
it.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with me helping black people. Do you understand this?
But when you say black people are different.
Yes.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
That's why I talk about the elite.
There's mixed black people, there's black people.
I don't know what that means. But
there's black people who have many heritages.
Yeah.
Like you can't. The problem that I have with you is you're just saying black people as one lineage. Black people is not one lineage.
Even if they don't, even if they don't, the thing I'm preaching is about that. Even if black people come from Mars, Spain, Pluto and stuff, it wouldn't matter. It's like this. I gave you an analogy about if we're in Speaker's Corner and we're all wearing pink shoes and there's people over there with bats and we go, we're beating the pink shoe people. Even though you're Algerian, even though he might be from where he's from, it makes sense for us to come together to defend ourselves from the pink sheep beating people.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, anytime black people integrate with anyone else, you will always find black people at the bottom, collectively. It's a fact. Let's ask black people. Don't ask the non-black people. They might not know.
Yeah, but
allegedly.
But we know why this happens.
Forget why it happens. I'm working on a solution. Doesn't matter what happens. I'm working on a solution.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, but you keep saying that, but you keep going
because
somewhere
black
else.
people are ethnic minority
No.
in an area which is.
No, it's because non-black people have low value for black people because of history, right? And what I'm saying, not
History.
that, because of the history of.
Yeah, but history. Everyone has their own interpretation of history.
Okay.
Your interpretation of history might be different for someone else.
Right, but I might be living in a bubble. Maybe I'm living in a bubble, but in the bubble I'm in, I will be dedicated to having black people. That's how it works.
Bro, there hasn't been one part of the convo where I've said to you, you're wrong for doing it.
I never said you said I was wrong.
No, but then I'm
constantly going over
to support
the
your
point.
claim of when you said I devalue the notion of black people coming together.
Because
how on earth do you know that? How do you know I haven't helped black people in the past? How do you know I haven't taken part?
It would be irrelevant for this conversation. Every time black people come together to talk about solutions, there is a consistent group of people in the shadows shouting distractive conversations.
It's not that shouting. It's just that you were one of the same people who undermined me based on my ethnicity.
No, that's not true at all.
You did. Of course you did, bro.
You
said.
No, that's not true at all.
You judged me based on my ethnic of my. I can't be an African because of my phenotype.
I never said that.
You never said that.
I said that if you talk about the North African light-skinned Berbers, right?
Yeah.
I said if you have a passport, no one can tell you you're not African because you have an African passport. I said this. And I said if you want to talk about science, I said the phenotype of the North African light-skinned Arabs and Berbers developed according to science outside of Africa. That's what I said. Yeah, but
where'd you get the science from?
Well, from school. Now it might be wrong.
From school, and you were talking about elites earlier and stuff. Who are these people who are discovering the science and stuff?
So when we talk about elites in this context of black
non-whites, non-blacks, sorry.
When we talk about elites in the context of what I'm saying right now, because you're in a world of confusion, and I can maybe help you.
Not really, bro. Like
okay,
you're just.
I'm the author of the words.
Bro, you're just.
I'm the author of the words,
bro,
and you do not understand the words. Therefore, meaning you are in a world of confusion.
You spent 15 minutes telling me that we can't trust as a community. We cannot allow non-blacks to fiddle or mingle with our coming together.
Yeah.
But you're getting all the science from non-blacks, bro.
I don't know what that means, and you do, and I'm glad you know what you're talking about. But here's what I'm saying this, right? Yeah, you've kind of gone all around the boat.
So do you only do it when it benefits you?
What does that mean?
Do you only do it when it benefits?
What does that mean?
You only only reject and accept from non-blacks only when it benefits.
I only take beneficial information. That's correct. Yes.
See what I mean?
That's
so
correct.
Then there's
why would I not take? Why would I take
bro?
information that's not beneficial?
There's holes in
why would I take confusion and inaccuracies and stuff? Why,
no,
what's the value of this?
You're doing what the Western done to Africa, bro.
I don't know what that means.
The West.
I know. I'm happy you know what you're talking about.
The West took only took stuff from Africa which benefited them, and you know.
Right.
So it's a human problem, I guess. Then it's not.
All
really
you're doing is you're demonstrating what you don't know. That's what you're doing.
Demonstrating what?
You're demonstrating what you don't know. That's what you're doing.
I don't know.
To me, you're demonstrating what you don't know.
No, I'm just saying there's holes in your philosophy. Bro.
What is my philosophy? Tell the camera my philosophy.
Bro, you've been explaining it for like the past
hour. No, this is all on the same. This is all on the same page. Tell them my philosophy.
No, I don't have to. I'm just a normal guy who just disagrees with some things that you say.
What do you disagree with?
And agree with some stuff that you say.
What do you disagree with?
Khalas. I agree that black people are disadvantaged because they're ethnic minority. Of course, I agree with that.
Okay. Well. Okay. So.
And I disagree when you say that not all non-black people are out here just to profit from black people.
Right, so what I'm saying is I push a concept called Black Betterment Building, where black people should be dedicated to helping black people on black issues.
Fine,
because if black people don't do it, no one else will. They'll pretend they will, but they're just practicing deception.
Okay.
Right? So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fine, yeah.
Right? Now, I have a strategy. So when I say elite, I'm saying if a black person confesses that they want to help black people on black issues, they become part of that elite group. That's my definition. And those who don't, they're left in their own wilderness, and the only way we can affect them is by moving through the ranks, changing a system way of thinking, so by osmosis they benefit.
Okay, I want you to explain this, yeah? What do you mean by system? specifically system? A government system, a law system?
Any system.
No, but you can't
system-
just say any system. Like,
A system,
you have to be specific.
a system is a way of doing things, a way of thinking.
Okay, so are you talking about laws or government system?
I'm talking about if you're a black person,
Okay.
right, how you process information is a system. And my job is to influence that system. So the way you think.
What, telling them that we shouldn't trust non-blacks? I don't think that's a good information.
I've
bro.
never said that, although that does sound very nice. I never said that.
No, I'm not saying you never said that, but the way you were explaining it, comes.
It doesn't matter, and that means that you're not ready for this conversation.
Unless if you tell me otherwise.
Like I said, my area of interest isn't talking about trusting anyone. I don't mention those things. Innit? I don't go, don't trust. It's like I'm saying, yeah, that if you're a black person and you recognise the challenges, if you're not dedicated to working on them, then you are you're self-destructing. Every other people could do it, whether they want to admit it or not. Yeah, and it's not to say black people need to do it because there's some kind of like bad motive going on. Black people have been the victims of many atrocities, so there is a value and a need to fix those issues.
100%.
That's what it is. Everything I'm saying is correct.
I haven't. According to you, bro.
Of course.
That's you.
Because I'm the author of this information.
No, you're entitled to have these views, bro.
Of course. That's what I'm demonstrating.
But people are allowed to disagree, though, with what you say.
Of course.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. It doesn't mean that I'm out here trying to destroy black betterment. That's what you're trying to make me out to look at, bro. You even said it earlier. You were like, oh, you can go help the North African brother. And come on, man, that was a silly comment, bro. Come on. When he said to me, if you wanted to learn about, what was it, the self business thing, he said, I can bring you in and teach you. And I said to him, I'm down. But you said, okay, you can go help the North. You said it in a salty way as well, bro.
I'm never sorry.
You can't deny that. Like, everyone was here,
so, one of the trainings I have, so if you observe me, you should understand that I value discipline. I value it, right? And I'm also emotionally attached to information. That's how. The only way you can help black people is by having these skills. Because if you were emotional amongst black people, you're finished. You're finished, right? So there's no. If a black person is trying to help black people and they're highly emotional, they're at a tremendous disadvantage. Tremendous disadvantage, right? I already said at the beginning of the conversation that I'm talking through the brother to the camera, right? So nothing the brother says can affect me emotionally because his behavioural patterns have been seen for many years. I cannot base my thought process on something that I feel needs betterment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So,
whether you talk about knife crime and stuff like that.
What's that got to do with this conversation?
No, but you guys were talking about knife crime earlier.
The brother was talking about knife crime because that's where he's at. Yeah? Knife crime is 1% of a holistic kind of concept, isn't it? Yeah? When you want to fix black people collectively, you want to work on knife crime. You want to work on health. You want to work on marriage. You want to work on self-esteem. You want to work on culture. You want to work on everything because it's a holistic way of fixing things.
You do know knife crime is not just black people. If you go places like up north, there's white people stabbing each other
so
as well.
What we have to recognise...
The media lies. The media focuses it on black people just to make them look like a certain way. And I don't believe the media, bro.
Of course, okay.
The media just want you...
Stay with me now.
The media
stay
want you
with
to
me
have
now.
a perception.
You're going to learn something. Stay with me now.
Yeah. Knife crime is majority of black people.
Right, so stay with me now. You might learn something. Hear this.
Do you agree with me or not?
Hear this.
Yeah.
I say this. You're going to find people doing things in a negative nature, right?
Yeah.
But the input source is not the same. So you might find people doing the same output, but the input might not be the same. Therefore, what am I saying? So I'm saying that if I teach a young black kid about, say, black history, right? Yeah. I show them kings and queens, I show them beneficial people, yeah? That's going to be a different solution to if I show a non-black person. Yeah, it's a different thing. Because they find themselves in the same situation for a different journey.
Yeah, they feel proud about it. They feel proud about that history.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, because of that solution base, that means I have to have a different approach to going to certain people. That's what it is. So how I would fix a black person isn't necessarily how I would fix a white person.
No, but do you think telling them about history, that they used to be kings and queens, will stop knife crime, knife crime is because of poverty, nothing got to do with the race.
So when we use the word holistic, we're talking about changing something as a whole. So you can never go for a bandage.
Knife crime, bro. I'm saying knife crime.
May I finish?
Because
I suspect you are confused.
No, I'm just saying I'm talking about knife crime.
But you're demonstrating your confusion. So
I'm just saying that.
I'm about to explain how you're confused. So when we talk about fixing knife crime, I'm talking about a holistic fix to that. So the issue is knife crime, and if I say history, I say health, parenting, cultural awareness, other activities, a job waiting for them, a training internship, whatever. That's more of a holistic kind of concept. not just Mansa Musa, Tahaka, Nanny of the Maroons. A bit more than that, although that's very good. It's some holistic. But that kind of technique might not necessarily work on a non-black person from the strategy that I'm pushing forward.
Well, we don't know that because we don't know how.
Well, you can demonstrate.
We don't know, huh?
You can demonstrate.
No, but we don't know what situation certain people are in.
Oh, but I do,
We don't,
and I'm going
no,
towards
but
what I
you
do.
can't say every. You can't say there are some non-black people who are not in that situation.
Right.
But there are some non-black people who are in that situation as well, who grew up in poverty backgrounds. Who like. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, the benefit I have might not benefit.
Like refugees, for
The benefit
example.
I have might not benefit them.
Can I give you an example? Yeah, like refugees, for example. Refugees who are coming from the Middle East, who are coming into this country, are at a disadvantage as well because they're coming as a refugee, and they're not because the language is a barrier. They can't speak the language or whatnot. They're unable to have the sort of opportunities.
Okay.
And me and you agree that knife.
Why does this concern me?
One second.
Why does it concern me?
It should concern all of us.
No, but why does it concern me directly?
Because
I'm on a platform talking about.
humanity.
Hold on. I'm on a platform recognizing that black people are going through an issue, and if black people don't come together to fix it, it won't get fixed. Why are you talking about refugees?
No, but a refugee
Why?
can be anyone. A refugee can be a black person as well.
Okay, well then they qualify for what we're trying to give them.
So it's only black people, yeah?
I mean, have you not got that from?
No, I got that. Obviously, I got that.
I mean, is this the news to you?
But we do agree that when it comes to knife crime specifically, it's not a black problem. It's a poverty problem.
Okay, well
Everyone knows that it's blatant.
well, like
The
I said,
media tells us it's a black problem, but it's not a black problem.
well, I'm talking about the black issue in that particular concept.
Yeah.
So I've already said from a standpoint, if I walk out my room, so I have helped more non-black people than black people in my life. Yeah?
Have you?
Of course.
No, are you just saying this or have you?
Of course.
Okay, then, yeah. That's
I
fine.
will go as far as say every black person in London has done the same.
Yeah, no, bro, there's so many black people who do charity in the mosques and...
I don't know what that means, but what I'm saying is this.
No,
yeah?
I'm just saying...
I'm saying, yeah.
Career-wise, yeah.
I'm saying that if you're in this system, right, and the way it's been arranged, just by walking down the street and doing activities, yeah, you're going to benefit non-black people, yeah. And there's a hierarchy of how that works, right? So if I walk into a shop and it's owned by an Asian man, and I give him money, I'm benefiting his shop, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
If I turn on the TV and there's an advert and it's owned by a European soap company, I'm benefiting them, right? So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to help black people understand that reality and participate in it.
Yeah.
See, because they're not part of your osmosis. I can't. I'm not stretching my arms and accidentally hitting black people. They're nowhere to be seen. So I'm making them be seen. And the only way you can do it is by having a
Trying
code.
to bring them together. You're trying to bring them out of their shell, basically.
I'm trying to make it that it's possible that black people can help black people. That's it. Because it's not possible now. It's difficult.
Well, but the way you say this, it's like this was never possible in the first place.
Well, like I said, I don't know whether that's left or right, up or down, but I'm saying, regardless of what you're saying, my goal is to help black people help black people. That's it. It's a fantastic thing.
No. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying it in that way, though?
Because I agree.
It is, of course it is.
Of course.
100%.
And that's what I do.
Because humans need help wherever they go.
I don't know what that means, but what I'm saying is I'm a black betterment builder. No, because I'm saying that I've recognised there's a group that's been known as black people.
Yeah.
That's going through a particular
By the way, black
ordeal.
is a westernised term, by the way. You're using a westernized
Aboriginal African descent people.
Or African.
Teddy bears.
That means
Teddy bears. Teddy bears. Teddy bears. You know the people.
But there's different kind of teddy bears.
No, teddy bears.
Big, small ones,
Yeah, well,
fluffy ones, white ones, black ones.
Yeah, well, the black ones. Yeah.
Green ones.
So the black teddy bears.
No,
yeah?
but no, you can't. Well, African ceramics, I fall in that
Okay, well then, if you're African, I'm talking about black teddy bears. Do you understand? Black people are collectively inferior. And
Still using the word black.
Yeah, of course. And the reason we're collectively inferior is because we fall for the Jedi mind tricks, isn't it? So, anytime I try to get an organised group going, that kind of Jedi mind trick comes in like, who's black? Am I black? Am you black? Are teddy bears black?
Nah, bro,
I'm saying that.
just contradicting
so
yourself
if you go on
still. I'm
Wikipedia,
not even gonna lie.
yeah, well, you're in a world of confusion.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
You are lying, but that's fine.
Why are you giving him such a hard time?
Bro, I'm not giving him a hard time. He just sometimes. What do you mean, man? I'm against what he's doing. You heard me so many times say to him that I support whatever he's trying to do. I support it 100%. But obviously, there's the way he's talking.
Backhanded compliments don't really work here, man.
Bro, you've been here for like 20 minutes, man. You've heard the stuff he's been saying, bro. He's saying stuff like non-black people yeah, if we allow them into our community, they will not benefit us.
I never said that. I never said that.
You did, bro.
I said that
earlier as well.
I never said that.
And you said that I don't understand because I'm not ethnically black.
Yeah, you don't understand.
But I've told you.
No, hold on, let me demonstrate. You don't understand how it is to be a black person. I stand by that. Yes.
Oh, I never will, bro.
So what's the conversation
I
about?
never chose the skin color, bro.
Right. Okay.
I was born like this.
Right. So if by not understanding, by not being black, you can't understand how it is to be black, and you won't understand.
But you
the
can't
necessity.
understand my struggles as well.
But I'm not interested.
Huh?
I'm not interested.
Well, but I'm a human though.
What's that got to do with me?
No, but I'm a human being though.
What's that got to do with me?
No, we're the same. We're the same. We're humans, bro.
Is there something you want?
It's not about something I want.
So why are you saying?
No, me personally.
There's something I want.
You should recognize.
I want black people to practice black betterment building, to adopt a code of conduct that makes them dedicated to helping black people, black issues. That's what I want. What do you want?
I just want to help everyone. I want to help black people as well. If I see black people struggling.
Right now, you're not helping black people.
Why not?
Because you're causing confusion.
Because I disagree. A lot of black people disagree with the stuff you say as well. I'm not the only one who disagrees.
Well, then you and them should practice what you want to practice.
Well, you include the black people that disagree with
you. You can take any black person and do whatever you want of them. I've already established that amongst the black group, I am forming an elite. Yeah, people who are dedicated to helping black people, black issues.
Your operation looks quite small because the black community is a lot larger than Speaker's Corner. The black community is like
once again,
huge.
I'm talking through you to the camera, right? Yeah? So just understand, I'm talking through you to the camera. And what you don't see is what you don't see. You know?
It's not that I don't see it, I just don't agree with some of the stuff you say, that's it, it's simple.
And why is that valuable?
You don't have to accept my criticism.
Do you think I accept your criticism?
You don't have to.
Do you think I do?
I don't think so, but you
exactly.
don't have to, you know?
And that's because by osmosis and by training, there's no value in me doing it. You see what I'm saying? Tangibility is so important. And when we talk about this kumbayarism and lovely Hollywoody and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't mean anything because the challenges will still be here tomorrow. So people like me who are on code, who come here and we form an elite group for betterment. And we have rules and regulations. And if you want to be part of it, you can. If you don't, then carry on doing what you're doing. That's it.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's it.
So I can be part of it.
No, you can't be part of anything I'm doing because if what I'm doing is based on black people, you wouldn't be welcome. But if what I'm doing is based upon football or eating chicken, or no chicken because I'm vegetarian, but doing something, right? We can do that. But
I get what you're trying to say because I'm not ethnically black, I can't really be part of black.
No, of course not. Well, that makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. I mean,
I can't argue with that, to be honest.
Of course.
Tommy Boy's gone, eh?
He's not speaking to you.
Yeah, I'm safe, yeah?
You too.
Cool. Alright, so we conclude. So how I'm behaving is how I'm trying to make other people behave, as in recognizing that you're always going to come across competition and people who try to muddy the waters. The most important thing a black person can do, from my perspective, if they want progress, is to openly or inwardly admit that you want to be dedicated to having black people. Because if you don't do that, the chances are you won't do that. Yeah? And that's what it is. Anyone want to chime in? Anyone want to say anything? Yeah? Dedication. There you go, family, man. There you go. Good. Come on. I thought man was going home. Cameraman. I thought man was going home. I thought man was going home. Come on, man. Only love though.
That's FTK right there.
I'll blow them things, isn't it?
FTK.
Don't film me stick.
FTK right there, boy.
People don't know what you're talking about. It's too dark, man. I can't see. Just put it loud. Just put it loud. Hey, yo. Hey, black bad man. I thought I'd come to your yard. You said you're going home. It's supposed to be a yard.
Hey, no, this ain't my yard. We just finished. No, I was ready to go home. I was just ready to go home, bro. Love, man. Respect.
From your man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
In the atmosphere and the shit.
Would it protect you from
Yeah, I've got one on my phone. That's why
I've got a gizmo on my phone as well. I don't know how all
Shungite
this
rocks,
works.
you need to get them.
I've got
what do you
this
call
that
them?
got me.
Shungite.
This is good for
Yeah,
my mobile
they're
phone,
like-
whatever is in it.
They're actually
It does
meteorites.
work, yeah, it does work.
Came from outer space, and you get them from from a place in Russia, a lake in Russia, and it's becoming very popular now. But they